Live from the Cowboy Network, Oklahoma State Cowboy football. Cowboy football is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Texaco Super Unleaded Gasoline with Petrox detergent to help keep your car's power flowing. By State Farm Insurance and the State Farm agents throughout Oklahoma who support Cowboy football. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Oklahoma Country Ford. Remember, there is no better deal than a Country Ford deal. And now, Oklahoma State Cowboy football.
Bob Barry, Tom Dorado back with you. El Paso, Texas. The kickoff has just occurred. Oklahoma State kicking off to West Virginia. A return of about 21 yards out to the 21-yard line. West Virginia first and 10. Tackle on the play by Milton Cockrell. West Virginia I formation. Major Harris the quarterback. I formation. Hand off to A.B. Brown. He's going around to the left side. Avoids Ron Williams. Then is stacked up after a game of about 2 to the 23-yard line by Melvin Gillum. So West Virginia underway quickly here. After a very long pregame, they all of a sudden came out, lined up, and kicked it off. And the Cowboys lost the toss of the coin, one of the few times this year that's happened. West Virginia, as we speculated, to receive the ball, but they will be going against a rather strong wind. Second down play, 8 yards to go for West Virginia, and they have the ball at their own 23-yard line. Must go to the 31 for the first down. I formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. Man in motion coming to the near side is the flanker back, Smith. There's a handoff to Brown. He's trying to go to the short side of the field, and ridden out on a hard tackle by Ron Williams at about the 25-yard line. A pickup of only 2, and it'll bring up a third down play and 6 for West Virginia, and they may give him up to the 26. Let's see where they place the ball on the inbounds marker, as the referee is Patrick Sweeney. It's at the 25 as we called it. Third down play and 6 yards to go for West Virginia, needing to go from the 25 up to the 31-yard line. Oklahoma State makes a change. Vernon Victor replaces Sim Drain, the third linebacker. 1 wide receiver to the right, that's A.B. Brown. 2 wide receivers to the left, John Talley and Harvey Smith. Back to pass is the quarterback, Major Harris. He's being chased inside the 50. He fumbles the ball, and it's out of bounds for a long loss way back at the 15-yard line. Good pursuit by the Cowboy defense, Tom Dorado, and Major Harris just simply lost the handle on the football. That, of course, our first indication that it's a cold day out there.
One of the Cowboy interior linemen, I'm going to say Kim Johnson, had his big hand in the way. Harris wanted to throw the football, couldn't get it over there, and forced him to scramble. He just lost the ball on the scramble.
So it's a 4th down play, and they need long yardage, so back to kick the ball will be the punter, Lance Carrion. He line drives one into this wind. Backing up is Melvin Gillum at the 42-yard line, goes left and right, now cuts up the middle of the 50-yard line, and the kick was 43 yards, the return to the 50-yard line, and the Cowboys have great field position to start out. First down, 10 yards to go from the 50-yard line. Let's check that kick returner as they pile away. It was indeed Melvin Gillum, as we call it. So Oklahoma State starts at the 50, Tom.
I think this is exactly how Pat Jones would like to draw it up. And Mike Gundy is the quarterback, so the Cowboys have everything going their way right now in the early going.
Oklahoma State from the 50-yard line, their first offensive possession. First down and 10 yards to go. Wide receivers left and right. Green left and Dykes to the right. Gundy gives the ball off Thurman Thomas, pitches it back to Gundy on the flea flicker, looks downfield, throws for Dykes, hands him at the 30, he's at the 25, 20, 15, 10, puts the shoulder down, tackled inside the 6, at about the 5-yard line. A 46-yard pickup on the pass to Dykes. Bo Orlando makes the tackle on the flea flicker to start things off. A handoff to Thurman, the pitch back to Gundy, and the pass to Dykes, and Dykes takes it all the way down to the 5-yard line.
And the Cowboys felt like they could suck them in early, which they did. They were looking for Thurman right off the bat. They sucked everybody in the interior in. As soon as the pitch was made back to Gundy, Dykes was wide open coming right to left, and he almost went in for the score.
So it was his 45 is his 48 had been his previous long play. That was about a 45-yard play. Pitch to Thurman Thomas over right tackle, down to the 3, to the 2, to the 1, into the touchdown for Oklahoma State. Thurman Thomas over right tackle has great blocking by Byron Woodard and Doug Beecham. Got him the touchdown. The Cowboys electrifyingly score on a 55-yard drive in 2 plays. A pass from the 50, 45 yards down to the 5, then a 5-yard run by Thurman Thomas, and number of touchdowns for Thomas on the year, as of course he has led Oklahoma State in scoring. That is his 18th touchdown, as he now has scored 111 points. Here's the extra point attempt by Kerry Blanchard at the end zone to our left, which is the north end zone. Wow, what a electrifying way to start. Waiting for the snap. The ball is down. Here's the kick in the air, end over end, and it's good. Cowboys lead it. Let's take a break here. 13:28 to go in the first quarter from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. The score, Oklahoma State 7, West Virginia nothing. This is the Cowboy Network.
Wherever you are, trust the Texaco Star. Up ahead, it's there shining bright.
Today, there's a gasoline station as modern as...
Appears to be, this storm came in from the south, so the wind is actually strong from the southeast. We said northeast earlier incorrectly. The Cowboys will be kicking off from right to left, and it will be Kerry Blanchard kicking with the wind. And you would suspect he might plant it in the end zone with the wind.
You expect exactly that. And one defensive observation, too. Cowboys felt like they had to get all afternoon great in play. In that first series, Ron Williams did a great job on 2 of the first 3 plays.
Exactly right. Here's the kickoff from Kerry Blanchard. High end-over-end kick. John Talley watches it sail through the uprights as it went clear out of the stadium. And so for the second time, West Virginia takes over. The first time they had it at their own 21 as they ran it out to that point. This time they start at their own 20. In the same area, both times they've had the ball. First down, 10 yards to go for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Coach Don Nealon, as the Cowboys lead 7-0 here. We've had just a minute and a half or so tick away. 13:28 to go in the first quarter. The snow is coming down a little bit now. Snow showers become just plain old snow. We have the I formation. Major Harris at quarterback. Craig Taylor is the fullback. Tailback is A.B. Brown. The pitch to Brown, sweeping to the left side, cuts upfield. Big hole, 25, 30, cuts back to his right at the 40-yard line and chased out of bounds in a big gain up at the 43-yard line. Melvin Gillum makes the stop on the play, but that's a 23-yard pickup. And this was expected to be an offensive show. And even though the Cowboys stopped West Virginia called their first thrust, it might be developing into the offensive show that we suspected.
It might very well be. And Brown learned something on that particular series. He cut it back inside after the first 2 times he carried. He tried to keep it outside. He cut it back in nicely.
So West Virginia first down, 10 yards to go at their own 43. In motion is Harvey Smith from right to left. He is the split receiver. The handoff goes to the fullback, and that's Craig Taylor blasting into the line, gets to the 45-yard line for a pickup of 2 and tackled by Sim Drain III and the interior of the Cowboy line. It'll bring up a second down play. Also, none was in on the tackle, I believe. Second down, a little less than 8 yards to go for West Virginia at their own 45-yard line. And they will need to go to the 47-yard line, rather, in Oklahoma State territory for the first down. Second down play from the West Virginia 45-yard line. About 8 yards to go. Keith Wynn, the tight end, shifts to the left side. Option play. Now Major Harris back to pass. He looks, has plenty of time, throws a long, long pass for John Talley. Overthrown, incomplete, the 5-yard line. He had Wade Weller beaten on the play. Talley stays down. I don't know ways that, yes, he has an
Harris, I wonder what he's thinking about the Big 8 Conference now. We'll get to that comment later, but he said he didn't think much after he got past Oklahoma and Nebraska.
Wide receivers, Bell wide left, Smith wide right, split halfbacks. Man in motion is running back Brown white on the wing left, coming to his right. Major Harris back to pass on a 3rd and 8. Will carry the ball, keep it. He's at the 50. Easily has the first down at the 45. And then he slides down at the Oklahoma State 42-yard line. There was a gaping hole up the middle on the quarterback keeper. That was probably a design play. Major Harris, a great athlete. The Cowboys knew all practice for West Virginia if they would have to contain Major Harris. As one player said, we're going to try to devote him to a private. Well, he was Major there as he picks up 13 yards and picks up the first down at the Oklahoma State 41-yard line. First time West Virginia's been in OSU territory. Ball just upfield from the Oklahoma State 41. I formation, pitch to Brown, sweeping around right side, big hole, 40, and then a last-second chop block, tackle rather by Jerry Deckard brings him down at the 35-yard line. If he'd beaten Deckard on the play, he might have gone all the way. That was a gain from the 41 down to the 35. 6 yards picked up. Second down play and 4 for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 35. Mako Moore replaces Robert Nutt at linebacker with 12 minutes right now to go in the first quarter. Oklahoma State leading West Virginia 7-0. Brandis Bell wide left. Split wide right is Harvey Smith. High formation, Craig Taylor, the fullback, A.B. Brown, the tailback. Major Harris gives to Craig Taylor down the middle. He's hit by Ron Williams, but not before he gets to the 28 in Oklahoma State territory. Ron Williams, defensive end from Houston, Texas, made the stop at the 28. A gain from the 35 down to the 28. It brings up a third down play. Or rather, beg your pardon, brings up first down as he needed only 4 yards and picked up from the 35 down to the 28. Third first down of the game for West Virginia. Brandon Colbert now has replaced Kim Johnson, nose guard, as West Virginia has their third first down this drive at the Oklahoma State 28-yard line. I formation. Man in motion is Harvey Smith, one of the co-captains from right to left. Major Harris gives the ball down the middle to fullback Craig Taylor. He's stripped up at about the 25-yard line. That's where the knee touched the ground. Craig Taylor from Linden, New Jersey, and picks up only 3 on the play to the 25. Second down play and 7 for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 25. This drive began at the West Virginia 20-yard line. They've had to go to a third down only once. 11:09 to go first quarter.
You and I speculated earlier coming out to the Sun Bowl that perhaps this would be the tactic, running straight ahead, and right now they have great success doing so.
We have the I formation, wide receivers left and right. Smith in motion from right to left from the 25. The fake the fullback. Major Harris keeps the ball. Over right tackle, cracks down across the 20. And appears to have the first down inside the 18-yard line. Melvin Gillum on the tackle, but West Virginia appears to have another first down. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Cowboy Football.
ESPI AM and FM, Stillwater. Cowboy Football presented by Consumers IGA, by Tiger Drug, by Cartoons, and by the Stillwater National Bank and Trust Company.
Bob Barrett, Tom Dorado back with you on a snowy El Paso, Texas Sun Bowl. West Virginia, their 4th first down at the OSU 18. 2 wide receivers to the left. Major Harris, the quarterback, gives to Brown around the left side. Gets by, almost gets by. Gillum does now to the 5. He's the 2 to the 1, and a flag is thrown. Holding may be called on West Virginia. It looked as though, Tom, Calvin Phillips, a offensive split receiver, may have been holding on the play as the game went down inside the 2. But let's see what develops.
He's either going to get a hold or a clip because it was right in front of the official. It looked like he actually pulled the player down. I would have called a hold from my vantage point, but it was behind one of the Cowboy tacklers, so that's going to bring it back a little bit. I tell you, Brown is a pretty deceiving type runner. He's got a little bit of power, a little bit of speed, but I tell you what's not a little bit. The snow's not a little bit. It's coming down here in sheets right now.
One forecaster predicted as much as 6 inches. Hope he wasn't right.
I hope he maybe he was partying or something the night before.
Well, the play began at the 18-yard line. The holding occurred, or the clipping rather, occurred at the 5. So the penalty actually becomes a 2-yard penalty. It's 1st and 12 from the 20 as the ball is put back at the 20-yard line. West Virginia with 2 wide receivers to the left. Tight end on the right is Wynn. Major Harris is the quarterback. Cowboys lead 7-0 early with 10:16 to go. The fake to the fullback. Major Harris keeps down the middle. Spins by one Cowboy at the 15 down to the 11-yard line. Boy, big holes being opened up by Bob Kovac and Brian Snyder on the right side. Just all across that offensive line. The West Virginia offensive line beating the Cowboy defense at this point. Gain from the 20 down to the 11. That's 9 picked up on first down there.
And I'll tell you what, one thing, you can see that it hasn't taken long for these snow pellets to start to take effect on the field. You see it blowing across the field. The footing is going to get treacherous.
From the 11-yard line, second down play and 3 for the first down, 11 for the touchdown. 2 wide receivers to the left. Major Harris gives the ball to Brown. Down the middle, inside the 5, leaps down to about the 3-yard line. That'll be a 1st and goal for West Virginia as they faced 1st and 12. Had no trouble picking that up and more in two downs. And the Cowboys go to their goal line defense. Let's call the ball at the 4-yard line on a 7-yard pickup. That's the 5th first down of West Virginia. Oklahoma State has run the ball 2 plays and scored a touchdown. Leads 7-0. Now West Virginia trying to at least tie it up.
You don't think West Virginia feels at home in this kind of element, do you? The fans are going crazy down in front of us. The players, they must feel like they're back in Morgantown.
We have the I formation double tight end now, and we have a timeout taken. We're set to go as West Virginia huddles. They break the huddle, come up the line of scrimmage from inside the Oklahoma State 4-yard line. Now with a wishbone formation for West Virginia. First time they've gone to that. The handoff goes to the fullback, Craig Taylor. He fights free and gets down to the 1-yard line. Well, they had him at the 3. Then he got past the 2 and then down to the 1. Hit first by Robert Nunn, but he's short of the goal line at the 1-yard line. That was Craig Taylor from Linden, New Jersey for the Mountaineers. As far as he is concerned, Craig Taylor was the 4th leading rusher. He has attempted 65 coming into the game, gained 307 yards this year. Got it about 3 there, and it is second down goal to go for West Virginia. The wishbone formation at the Oklahoma State 1. Major Harris, the quarterback, hands the ball off. Touchdown, West Virginia. Untouched goes the left halfback, A.B. Brown, from the wishbone. And it's a 7-6 ball game as West Virginia has gone 80 yards. Went to a third down play only once in the entire drive. Kept the ball for 4.5 minutes or so. And now the extra point attempt by Charlie Bauman, who's 36 out of 36 this year, having to clear a spot on the turf at the 10-yard line where the ball will be spotted on the extra point attempt. And this could be hard to accomplish, an extra point.
Everything from here on out is going to be a little difficult to accomplish. Brown had a tiptoe, and it definitely does favor the offense because the defensive pursuit simply could not get to Brown.
Here's the extra point attempt by Charlie Bauman. The holder will be Mike Timko. Snap, the ball is down, the kick is in the air, looks good, and it is good. We have a tied football game. 8:49 to go in the first. 2 leading rushers for the 2 teams have scored the 2 touchdowns. Here's a squib kick. Knocked down by Bauman, along the ground, touched by Cowboy, into the hand of Thurman Thomas, who runs it up to about the 31 or 2-yard line. About a 12-yard return by Thurman Thomas. Barry Sanders touched it first, but fumbled the ball, and then Thurman Thomas picked it up, and the ball is at about the 32-yard line. That's what we'll call it. First down, 10 yards to go for Oklahoma State. Gerard Green checks into the Cowboy receiving corps. Mike Gundy, the quarterback. Thurman Thomas, the tailback. Hartley Dykes in there. And for West Virginia, that'll be Robert Pickett, Chris Parker, David Grant, Brad Hunt, and Dale Jackson on the defensive front. Cowboys from their own 32. First down, 10 yards to go. Green wide right, Dykes wide left. Gundy back to pass. It's a shovel pass to Thurman Thomas up the middle. He's at the 35-yard line, up to about the 37 or 8, I believe. Have to pause to figure it out at about the 37 or 8-yard line. Pickup of, we would say, close to 5 or 6. Eric Lester and David Grant on the tackle. Let's call it about a 5-yard gain.
I would think the pass plays would be open on this particular situation because it's very difficult for the defenders to come up and cover.
Second down play, about 5 yards to go for Oklahoma State. In the area of the 36 or 37-yard line, in their own end of the field. Long signal count. Mike Gundy gives the ball up to Thurman Thomas over left tackle, runs into the crowd, and no gain. Maybe got a half yard, and perhaps even a yard. He'll bring up a third down play, and let's call it 3 yards to go. Dale Jackson, the defensive player, made the stop with 7:56 to go in the first quarter, and the game tied at 7 on a snowy day at the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Ball at the 38-yard line at Oklahoma State territory. Need to go up to the 42 for the first down, about 4 yards to go. This is the first third down situation that the Cowboys have faced. High formation, wide receivers deployed left and right. Mike Gundy from Midwest City, the quarterback. Gets the exchange, option play, pitches the ball back to Thurman Thomas, cuts upfield. He's at the 45, he's at the 50. He crosses into West Virginia territory to the 48-yard line. I believe that is, Tom, at the 48 in West Virginia territory. Needless to say, he gained plenty of yards for the first down. Willie Edwards on the tackle, and Thurman wasn't too far from breaking that one.
Well, pretty darn good execution of the option in this particular weather. The cold hands, the unsure footing, and Gundy got it out there in good shape. No signs of the ankle or the foot hurting. And he got it out there where he could operate. And as you said, once Thurman's out there now, he's got the advantage because he's got the good moves.
Thurman Thomas picked up 10 yards on the carry, and it brings up first and 10, number 2 for Oklahoma State from the West Virginia 48-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Oklahoma State. Gundy gives the ball off to Thurman Thomas over right tackle into a pile, gets short yardage perhaps to the 45-yard line. Chris Parker on the stop, gain of about 3 to the 45 in West Virginia territory. Second down play, and well, he didn't get that much as we check out the yard stripe, making about a 2-yard pickup. From 48 down to the 46, we'll call it. Second down play, 8 yards to go approximately for Oklahoma State. We apologize for being approximate, but the field is covered with snow.
The old eyes are going to get a workout today.
Glasses, don't fail me now. 2 wide receivers to the right. Here's Mike Gundy rolling to his right, looking to pass, still looking, throws a pass. It's caught by Ronnie Williams. He's stopped inside the 30 at the 25-yard line on a completion. Preston Waters, the cornerback on the left side, makes the stop, and Ronnie Williams, a former quarterback for Oklahoma State, who's played such a great part of the Cowboys' success this year, makes the reception, and they'll mark it around the 25-yard line, maybe just upfield from it. Gain from, let's call it about 20-yard pickup from the 46 to the 26. It brings up a first down, number 3 for Oklahoma State, the West Virginia 26-yard line. Game tied at 7 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Wide receivers are left and right. Dykes wide right. Gerard Green split left. Thurman Thomas at tailback. Gundy drops straight back to pass. Flat pass complete to Thomas. He's at the 28, and he gets down to the 25-yard line. Maybe picked up only a total of a yard from the line of scrimmage as the pass was thrown out in the flat. Chris Parker on the stop at the West Virginia 25-yard line. Second down play, 9 yards to go for OSU. The snow has let up somewhat. It's still falling, but not like it was a few moments ago.
How about these numbers for a passing day? Gundy is 4 for 4 for 72 yards. Of course, 50 of those or 45 of those came before it started snowing.
Gerard Green wide right, double tight end for Oklahoma State. Brian Keith tight end left, J.R. Dillard tight end right. High formation, Garrett Lembrick the fullback, Thurman Thomas the fake to Thomas. Gundy rolls right, looks to pass, fires a pass down the middle, caught by Brian Keith at the 10-yard line, and he stopped right there. Cowboys have another first down, a 15-yard pickup on the pass to Brian Keith from Mike Gundy. Terry White, the transfer from Ohio State, makes the stop at the West Virginia 10. Cowboys have marched from their own 32 on a snow-covered field down to the West Virginia 10, picked up 3 first downs in the process, and it's first down, goal to go for Oklahoma State at the 10-yard line. I believe that's closer to the 9-yard line, Tom, as we look over. So
yeah, you're right. It is inside that 10, and from this angle, it was tough to pick up.
At the 9-yard line, first and goal. So a gain from the 25 down to the line. Wide receivers now, there's two, one to the left, one to the right. Dykes right and Williams left. Both are 6'4". Both the cornerbacks are 5'8". Let's see what happens. Gunsey gives off to Thomas, hit in the backfield, gets away. Cuts into the 6 to the 5, the 2 to the 1, touchdown Cowboys.
Oh, that was Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas, touchdown of 9-yard run.
Banging right off the first tackler who had him in the backfield. Little misdirection. Thurman took it, faded to the right, came back to his left, and I believe the West Virginia man had him pretty well smelled out because they hit Thurman in the backfield, but Thurman ran over him, and then once he broke the line of scrimmage, broke one more ankle tackle and got into the end zone. But there's the power of Thurman Thomas using the field to his advantage.
68 yards and 8 plays for the Cowboys on a 9-yard run by Thomas, his second touchdown of the game. And both Cowboy touchdowns scored by Thomas. 5:16 to go first quarter. Now Kerry Blanchard will try the extra point at the end zone to our left, which is the north end zone. The snap, the ball is down, the kick is in the air, it's end over end, and it's good. We have timeout on the field with 5:16 to go first quarter. From the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, the score Oklahoma State 14, West Virginia 7. You're listening to Cowboy Football.
When you carry a Cowboy card, you carry the OSU spirit everywhere you go.
How was everything, son? Yeah, excellent meal.
Yes, it was wonderful.
We're ready for the bill.
The Cowboy card is a Visa or MasterCard with the orange and black OSU alumni.
Sun Bowl. I know he wants to do this for the school, and he's showing it right now in the first quarter.
We had blowing snow earlier, Tom. I think you'll agree. Now it's just more of a snowfall that's blowing a little bit, but the wind not whipping as badly. I really think blowing wind bothers players worse than just a snowfall, other than slippery on the field.
I know it bothers us up here. We're not even down there.
Here comes the kickoff again from right to left. 3rd1 for Kerry Blanchard in the game. All the other two have been into the end zone. Let's see what this one does. Not will be far short, as Grantis Bell will take it at the 6 to the 10 up the middle. Grantis Bell to the 15 to the 20. Oh, he's hit awfully hard at about the 23, 24-yard line. He was really belted. And tackle made by, I believe, Cockrell of Oklahoma State. Milton Cockrell, who is from Dallas Wilmer Hutchins High School, junior. He really put the hit on him. And about an 18-yard return. We're trying to figure out the yard line. Let's call it at the 24-yard line in West Virginia territory. First down and 10 yards to go.
Well, he came flying through. That's a second-grade tackle he's made on special teams today. Milton's come to play.
Harvey Smith wide right. Grantis Bell splits left, I formation, and in motion is Smith from wide right to the left. Quarterback Major Harris pitches the ball back to Brown, sweeping to the right side, gets by one would-be tackler, and then Ricky Shaw is in on a tackle at about the 26 or 7, 28-yard line perhaps. Gain of about 4. Brandon Colbert also gets credit on the tackle. Let's call it at the 27.5, 28-yard line, about 3.5, 4-yard pickup. Second down play, a little less than 7 yards to go for West Virginia. They need to go from their own 28 to the 34. John Talley, who was injured earlier, is back in there. We're glad to see that. Talley back in for West Virginia. He's in motion from slot left to the right. He was injured on one of the early plays. Major Harris hands off up the middle to A.B. Brown. He crosses the 30 and is hit down at the 32-yard line. David Bailey on the tackle. Second team all Big 8. David Bailey makes the stop again from the 28 to 32. Brings up a third down play and 2 yards to go for West Virginia. Needing to go to their own 34. They have it at their own 32.
Cowboys making a lot better reads on this particular possession on A.B. Brown. Drain had him the first time, Bailey the second time.
Two wide receivers to the short side of the field. That's to the right. Grantis Bell and Harvey Smith. 1 for 2 on third down conversions. Brown hits into the line. He's hit hard at about the line of scrimmage. Fights for it. Appears to have the first down across the 34, 35-yard line. Sim Drain and Rod Smith on the tackle. It will easily be a first down for West Virginia now as they've spotted it at the 38. So he got, let me check my yard stripes here again. Got about 6 on the carry, as it turns out, and that's the 6th first down for West Virginia at their own 38-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. The only time anybody stopped anybody today was Oklahoma State stopping West Virginia, their initial thrust. Wide receivers deployed. I formation for West Virginia from their own 38. Cowboys leading with 3:46 to go first quarter, 14-7. Delay play, gift to Brown, up the middle, hit hard by Sim Drain and tackled as he reaches the 40-yard line. And may have just gotten to the 40. A pickup of about 2. Good defense by the Cowboys that time. Don't realize how important those yard lines are. You can't see them as far as the hitting and the blocking and so forth. We have a brief timeout here, maybe an equipment timeout, or yes, it's on the officials. Let's remind you the Cowboys for West Virginia from their own 40-yard line, needing to go to their own 48 for the first down. I formation, the fake to the fullback. Major Harris keeps, and he's tackled. He had nowhere to go. He slipped a little bit. Ricky Shaw makes the tackle. That time it worked to the Cowboys' advantage, the slippery field, because Major Harris is so elusive, but he tried to stop on a dime and could not. He slid, and that allowed Ricky Shaw to catch up with him and make the stop.
The Cowboys had that backside pursuit that we talked about in the pregame show that time, and the backside pursuit came from Ricky Shaw, who's quick enough anyway without without any kind of help with the snow. But when Harris had to do a lot of tiptoeing, that gave Ricky enough time to chase him down.
About a yard gain on the play brings up third down. Let's call it 7 for West Virginia, about their own 41. I formation. Major Harris back to pass. Now he will keep the ball. Runs to his right. Tries to get around the corner. Does get around the corner. Out of bounds, but he has the first down, I believe. Up and about the midfield stripe. Vernon Victor pushed him out of bounds, but Major Harris, elusive that time despite the slippery field, got outside and picked up 9, and West Virginia has their 7th first down. Cowboys had a great shot at stopping them there as they faced a 3rd down and 7, but couldn't get it done defensively because of the slippery field and the good talents of West Virginia quarterback Major Harris, redshirt freshman.
You mentioned he was a great athlete back there, and I think he might be the best weapon they've got because he can see the field unfold ahead of him, and he just makes the cuts that he needs.
We have a timeout taken here.
First time, your Oklahoma Country Ford dealers. Quality people, quality products.
At your Oklahoma Country Ford dealer.
47-yard line. Ron Williams on the tackle. The Cowboy defensive front is Greg McAllister, Marcus Jones, Kim Johnson, Derek Alexander, and Ron Williams. As David Bailey has not returned to the play, was slightly shaken up, limped off a moment ago. That was a gain of about 3, brings up 2nd down 7 for West Virginia. Grandis Bell wide to the right, split left is, or wide to the right is Phillips, Bell wide left. I formation, Craig Taylor the fullback. In motion is Calvin Phillips from right to left. Major Harris back to pass, fakes the handoff, in the pocket, good protection, throws downfield, long pass is deflected, incomplete. Nice defensive play by Oklahoma State's Wade Weller. The pass was intended for Calvin Phillips, who'd gone in motion on the play, and West Virginia faces a 3rd down play and about 7 yards to go from the Oklahoma State 47-yard line.
Oh, Weller had to come from a long way from his corner spot there to actually come in and look like he was playing center field, but he timed it perfectly. Had it been not so cold, looked like maybe the hands had something to do with it because Wade had great inside position.
We now have a 3rd down play, the 3rd time in this drive that West Virginia has faced a 3rd down play. They have been able to pick up the first down each of the other 2 times. There are 3 for 4 on 3rd down conversions in the game. We have Wynn, the tight end on the right side. In motion comes Harvey Smith from right to left. Here's quarterback Major Harris on the delay play, giving off to A.B. Brown. He goes to left, gets away from one would-be tackler, gets outside. He may go all the way at 35. Now a good tackle at about the 25-yard line by Jerry Deckard, saves the day for Oklahoma State. As A.B. Brown faked inside, cut outside nicely, and once again, West Virginia overcomes a 3rd and long. They had 3rd and 7 there, as they had the last time they faced 3rd down, and got a good gain from the 47 down to about the 26, would you say, Tom? 27-yard line.
27, I would say, yeah.
So about a 20-yard pickup there. And first down number 8 in the game for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 27-yard line.
Brown's got 91 yards. We're still in the first quarter.
High formation, give to Brown over right tackle. He's hit hard and dropped after he gets a pretty good gain out of it. About 4 yards from the 27. Tripped up on the ankles and then belted down. Got from the 27. Marcus Jones gets credit for the tackle down to about the 20. What would you say? About the 23-yard line.
3, right. 23 from where we sit.
About a 4-yard pickup. Second down, let's call it 6 yards to go for West Virginia. Minute 17 to go in the first quarter. Oklahoma State leads 14-7. West Virginia has the ball at the Oklahoma State 27-yard line. Bell is wide to the right. Smith in motion coming from left to right. Give to Brown down the middle. He's tripped up, but he gets good yardage. Very close to the first down to about this 18, 17-yard line. Brandon Colbert got him by the ankle. But Anthony Brown gets close to a first down. We may have to have a measurement in the area of the Oklahoma State 17-yard line. They have stopped the clock with 58 seconds to go in the first quarter, and it's been all offense in the first quarter. And West Virginia has driven 80 yards in 13 plays. This drive started at their own 24. They have picked up 3 first downs, gone to a 3rd down 3 times, consumed a lot of time, and they have the ball at the Oklahoma State 17 or 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down plays. They decided it's not a first down and inches to go at the 17.5-yard line. They're 4 or 5 on 3rd down conversions. They go to the wishbone lineup. Double tight end, give to Brown. He's into a pile and appears to have the first down close to the 16-yard line. Maybe got to the 15. But appears to have the first down for West Virginia. That's what the referee signals. First down for the West Virginia Mountaineers with 31 seconds to go first quarter, and Oklahoma State leading 14-7.
Hey, Brown's a nice mixture of speed, not blazing speed, but just enough to get by you, and good power. He's got a tough, low center of gravity. He runs hard.
Ball at about the 15-yard line. And it is first down, 10 yards to go for West Virginia. High formation, 2 wide receivers to the right. That's Harvey Smith and Grandis Bell. Hand off to Brown over left tackle. Pyle drives his way down to the 10-yard line, or close to it, before he is tackled there. That's Whaley on Pyle. The official spots the ball. And I doubt if we'll have another play. We won't before the end of the first quarter. Time running down. And Taylor, the fullback, Brown at left half. grant a spell at right halfback, quarterback Major Harris. Now they shift out of the wishbone to the I formation. Wide receivers left and right from the 11, second down 6. Here's Major Harris on the keeper play, right side. He gets by one tackle and his roll down. A nice stop by Robert Nunn. Just bowled him over at about the 5-yard line. But it appears to be another first down for West Virginia. Just depends on where they spot the old football. They bring it back upfield a little bit, so maybe shy. Let me look. It is first down, though. They look it over and say roll the clock. First down and goal to go for West Virginia at the 5-yard line. That's the 10th first down of the game for West Virginia. Cowboys have only 4, but that's because they've gained such long yardage on their various carries. West Virginia, first and goal from the 5. Here's Major Harris handing off down the middle. Stopped cold. That was a handoff to A.B. Brown into the middle of the line, and the tackle made by Drain and Deckard of Oklahoma State. I don't think he got anything on that carry.
Didn't appear he did. He got nailed right off the bat and then tried to sidestep his way through there. And, of course, Deckard came up and made sure he didn't go anywhere else. But this is the 16th play now coming up of this drive, which is carrying over from the first quarter.
And they've been on a third down situation 4 times in the drive. Each time was able to overcome the long yardage. Double tight end, wingman to the right. For West Virginia, I formation, man in motion. That's Harvey Smith from right to left. The pitch to Brown, sweeping the right side. Cuts in easily for the touchdown.
What a nice move.
Almost untouched. He looked as though he was going outside, cut back inside, and West Virginia has marched in a long, time-consuming drive from their own 24 all the way in. A 76-yard drive. And a bunch of plays and a lot of time eaten up, and they draw to within 1 point of the Oklahoma State Cowboys with 13:56 to go before halftime in this offensive show, as we suspected, on very unlikely for an offensive show conditions. Snow-covered field. Now here's the extra point attempt by Charlie Bauman, who's 37 of 37 on the year, 1 for 1 today. This going on at the end zone to our left. The holder is Mike Timko. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is in the air. It's perfect. We have timeout on the field with 13:56 to go in the second quarter. The scorer from the Sun Bowl at El Paso, Texas, Oklahoma State 14, West Virginia.
And again, using this one as a springboard, Neyland's going to stay, at least Neyland's going to stay in the college ranks. At least that's what the speculation says. But we'll see after that. As you mentioned, the staff meeting. Don't you wish you could go to that one?
Right. At the hash mark to the right, 35-yard line, the kicker, Charlie Bauman from Erie, Pennsylvania, went to Cathedral Prep, All-State and All-American in high school. Good kicker, has sort of brushed away some of the snow right around the 35, and he was testing it. So he's very much on his mind whether or not he'll fall down when he makes the kickoff. That has to affect you.
I would think so, and he may fall down. I mean, you can tell out there now, as they have been running on it, much like a car does when it drives on this type of stuff, it's becoming a lot slicker than it was when it actually was first falling and blowing around.
Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas switch sides on the kickoff return unit. The ball is placed on the middle of the field. A holder will hold the ball, and that's Dave Lockwood for West Virginia. Now we're set to go with the kickoff. Game tied at 14. Haven't solved anything yet. 13:56 to go before halftime. Here's the kickoff. End over end. They're actually sort of wobbles down there. Sanders lets it go by him into the end zone and out of it. And the Cowboys start for their third offensive possession from their own 20. They started from the 50, from their own 32, and now from their own 20. And their third offensive possession. And it'll be Thurman Thomas at tailback. The injury, 1 to each side. John Talley was injured, came back for 1 play. Apparently was not happy with the way he felt and didn't come back in. And David Bailey left the lineup for Oklahoma State. He has not returned. Cowboys break the huddle. Dykes wide to the left. Gerard Green splits right. Fullback Garrett Limbrick. Quarterback is Mike Gundy. Tight end J.R. Dillard shifts from tight end left to tight end right. From the Cowboy 20, first down, 10 yards to go. Mike Gundy gives to Thurman Thomas, veers to his left, cuts up the middle, springs free for just a minute, and then is tackled at the 26-yard line. Boy, what great effort. Ted Kester on the tackle, linebacker for West Virginia, but not before Squirmin' Thurman had 6, and maybe 7. About a 7-yard pickup, it appears. Second down play and 3. The ball at about the 26 or 26.5-yard line. Anyway, a little less than 4 yards to go for Oklahoma State on a second down. Cowboys at their own 26.5. Williams wide right. Hartley Dyke splits left. I formation for Oklahoma State. Tight end Dillard, tight end on the right. 5-man defensive front for West Virginia. Gundy pitches. Thomas fumbles the ball, gets it back, and then is tackled immediately. Lost yardage on the play. That's the first juggle we've seen of a of the ball. The pitch back went from Gundy to Thomas, who juggled the ball, had to worry about that rather than his running, and is tackled after a loss of about a half yard by David Grant, the big nose guard, 6'4", 271. Now the Cowboys face third down from the 26-yard line and 4 yards to go.
It was a tough pitch to handle. It was up in Thurman's eyes, and he did all he could really to hold on to it without being separated from it again.
Gerard Green split wide on the left side, tight end Hartley Dykes on the right. Cowboys 1 for 1 on third down conversions. Wide side of the field is to the left. Laterally, Gundy back to pass. He looks, he's being rushed. He gets out of the pocket effectively. Still looks upfield. Still now throws a short pass. Caught by Thomas. First down, up the sideline and out of bounds. Nice play ad-lib by Mike Gundy. Tackled short of the 40-yard line, but a gain of about 12, 13 yards. Bo Orlando pushed out Thurman Thomas on the reception. Well, Thurman is such a valuable player, Tom. He can catch passes, he can return kickoffs and punts, and, of course, run the football.
Great chemistry right there. It was almost as if Thurman was leading the way as a block and then just released as the man came up to come in on Gundy. Gundy just soft touched it out there, and then was Thurman to take it in.
We're calling the ball at the 39-yard line. Just short of it. First down, 10 yards to go for Oklahoma State. Wide receivers deployed. Gundy hands the ball off to Thurman Thomas around the left end. Cuts up the nice tackle at the 42 or 3-yard line. Good one-on-one tackle by Brad Hunt, co-captain right tackle from Ripley, West Virginia. We visited with him, as we indicated, at one of the news conferences, and he's a speech major. Very intelligent young man and interesting. Made a fine play there.
Boy, one ankle tackle right there. If Thurman's able to slip the tackle, he's going to go for 20 or 30 more yards because the Cowboys had every one of those blue shirts down on the ground.
Picked up about 4, we'll call it on the play. Second down, let's call it 6 yards to go. At about the 34, 30, or 43, 44-yard line. Back to pass, Gundy. Short pass over the middle. Caught. Short of the first down by Dykes. Now he fights forward, and the whistle will blow. Dykes said, I wasn't down yet. What'd you blow the whistle for? But he blew the whistle before Dykes actually got the first down. That was a questionable call from our view. Ted Kester on the tackle, and Dykes had the first down with the good second effort. Now the official puts it back short of the first down. And perhaps they'll even bring the chain into measure. That's what they'll do.
Looked like he was still churning. Looks like he still had things going his way. His momentum had not been stopped. I was surprised that they came in. That was more of an anticipatory type whistle because I think the official felt like he was stopped right there. But Dykes, as we have seen so many times, could fight out of that initial tackle. It's a first down anyway.
All academic, as they say.
Yeah, but it was a good argument, though, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Ball is at the 49-yard line, Oklahoma State territory. That is their 6th first down of the game. Game is tied at 14 with 11:56 to go before halftime in this offensive struggle between the Mountaineers and the Cowboys, West Virginia and Oklahoma State. Sun Bowl in El Paso. Snow is falling, although not that heavy at this moment. Dykes wide left. And now we have Brent Parker in the game, right side as a wide receiver. The one-back offense, actually 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Oklahoma State. Snap to Gundy, give to Thurman Thomas down the middle. And Thomas cuts to his left. Oh, he almost broke it. He's still fighting hard. He has the first down finally ridden down hard. And could have been a late flag there, but it was not. A late hit as Willie Edwards finally wrestled him down. And then they piled on Thurman, but no. Now there is a flag, but it's not where we thought it should be. At the point of the tackle, the flag is dropped to back at Limbrick. Gundy back to pass, straight back in the pocket. He looks. He'll run up the middle. He's hit and tackled for a very short gain, if any, maybe 1 yard. Gundy tackled at the 40-yard line by Theron Ellis, defensive end. Gain from the 39 just up across, let's call it the 41, a 2-yard pickup. And with 10:59 to go in the second quarter, game tied at 14, Cowboys face a second down 18.
Even though it was only a 2-yard gain, I think you'll agree, it was encouraging to see Mike scramble and take the hit. He doesn't look like he's showing any ill effects of that foot injury.
Dykes wide to the right side. Wide left is Ronnie Williams. High formation, Garrett Limbrick, the fullback. Gundy gives the ball off to Thurman Thomas. 1 to go left, nothing there. Tackled perhaps for a loss. Absolutely nothing there for Thurman as he took the handoff and boom, was down at about the 40-yard line. So a loss of a yard brings up a third down 19 for Oklahoma State at their own 40-yard line as West Virginia challenges the Cowboys to pick up from long yardage the way West Virginia had on their long drive. Cowboys haven't been stopped yet today. They've scored on 2 possessions, and West Virginia scored on 2 out of 3 possessions. Cowboys are 2 for 2 on third down conversions. Split halfbacks behind Mike Gundy. Gerard Green and Dykes, the wide receivers. Back to pass, Gundy rolls to his right. Looking to pass, still looking, throws upfield. It's caught. No, it's caught out of bounds by Gerard Green. Caught right in front of the West Virginia bench. They say it was out of bounds. Gerard Green caught it. It would have been enough yardage for the first down, but the official right there looking at it said he was out of bounds. The defender was Preston Waters, and the Cowboys will be forced to punt the ball for the first time today as Kerry Blanchard will line up to punt it. Oklahoma State, or rather Kerry Cooper, beg your pardon, will be taking the ball. 41.8 yard average per kick for Kerry Cooper.
That's the first incompletion that Mike Gundy has had. Even though it was completed out of bounds. And it was close. I watched a replay of it to my right. It was very, very close.
Grandis Bell is back to receive the kick from Kerry Cooper. Waiting the snap. It's high, but Cooper has it. He'll kick the ball. It's blocked partially. It skips out of bounds after only a kick going about 8 or 9 yards. And that's the first one Cooper's had blocked this year. And give credit to Andrew Jones, defensive back, for blocking the kick. They're congratulating him as he comes off. And so the Cowboys now got a problem defensively. They haven't been able to stop West Virginia before, other than the initial thrust of the game. The short kick there on the blocked punt. And West Virginia has great field position at the Oklahoma State 48-yard line after a punt of only, what was that, Tom? About 8 yards.
And really, they had 3 men who penetrated, and Cooper took one extra step, and it cost them.
So West Virginia quickly comes up to the line of scrimmage. Momentum shifting to West Virginia from the Oklahoma State 48-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Major Harris fakes the handoff, back to pass. He throws downfield, long pass, intercepted by Jerry Deckard at the 15-yard line. Deckard is tackled at the 16 or 17-yard line. Jerry Deckard picks off the pass. The interception for Oklahoma State, and that's his 4th of the year for Deckard.
Oh, yeah, what a big turnover right there as the Cowboys were facing a momentum shift, and West Virginia tried to get it all in one bundle, and it cost them. They were throwing with the wind.
Timeout is on the field. By the way, long signal count. Gundy hands the ball off and tackled immediately as Garrett Limbrick, the fullback. But their flags down, I believe, West Virginia offside. Brad Hunt, who spent his time during the timeout telling the crowd to whoop it up, jumped offside, I believe.
Mike Gundy went to a stutter count, a different count, changed the cadence, and that was enough to pull off a very eager defensive line, pull them off sides. The Cowboys' play was completely messed up anyway because the handoff after that jump offside was really in the backfield. Limbrick had no place to go.
Ball is then brought out to the 22. It's first down 5 for Oklahoma State after the penalty on West Virginia. One of the few penalties we've had in the game, by the way.
Third one.
And Ronnie Williams and Hartley Dykes come wide right. Oklahoma State first and 5 from their own 22. Tight end Brian Keith on the left. 5-man defensive front for West Virginia. Mike Gundy calls the signals, gets the exchange, gives off to Thurman Thomas up the middle. He spins, he fights, he squirms up to about the 28-yard line. Very, very close to the first down. May have it by a yard or so, depending on where they mark the ball. Good effort by Thomas. It is easily a first down for Oklahoma State, and that, according to my figures, is their 7th first down. They have it at the 28-yard line in Cowboy territory with 9:14 to go before halftime, and OSU leading, or tied rather, with West Virginia 14-all.
Thurman running hard today on the snow. The elements don't seem to be bothering him today. Unofficially now, that's for Thurman, 10 carries and 44 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wide receivers, 2. Make that 1 to the left, and no, 2. I was right the first time. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Single back offense. Gundy gives the ball to Thurman Thomas over the right side. He's snowed under. No pun intended. As that was Barry Sanders, who had just checked in for Thurman Thomas. First time he carried the ball, and we have a little extracurricular activities. You know, one of the West Virginia broadcasters told me something that rather surprised me, because these two teams have been together on a couple of occasions. He said he's been to 6 bowl games that West Virginia's gone to, and he said there was more animosity between the two teams than any he'd ever seen. That surprised me because I hadn't seen that on Oklahoma State's part.
No, I really didn't either. I'm surprised at that remark.
But West Virginia is sure mouthing a lot today during the game. Second down play and 10 for Oklahoma State. No gain on the last play. Gundy fakes the handoff. Gundy back to pass. Gundy still looking. Now he rolls out of the pocket. Now he looks left. He carries the ball. He'll keep it, and he's hit awfully hard at about the 32 or 3 yard line. Gundy just simply couldn't find anyone to throw to or didn't want to release it. And finally, Dale Jackson hit him very, very hard at the 32-yard line, a gain of about 4. And that brings up a third down play, and let's call it 4 yards to go for the first down.
Looking at Pat Jones, he's out there trying to help under the official spot what he thought was perhaps some grabbing going on the defensive side along the interior as the Cowboys were being pushed around and pulled around face mask-wise.
There was a gain from the 28 to 32. Let's call it 3rd and 6 rather than 3rd and 4 as we called it. 3rd down 6. Back to pass. Gundy drops straight back. Throws up the middle. It's intercepted. And down immediately after the interception, it's picked off by Rodney Wilson, the linebacker, the drop linebacker at the left end. So West Virginia returns the interception favor. And as far as interceptions are concerned, we're checking the defensive statistics for Wilson to see if he picked one off earlier this year. And that was his first. Tom?
Okay, I'm just looking at the stats here. I'm trying to help you out there. I couldn't find them either. But Gundy just underthrew the man. Dykes had slipped down, which even complicated the matters behind the receiver.
First down, 10 yards to go for West Virginia in Oklahoma State territory. Great field position about the 42. Pitch to Brown going to the right side. Big hole, 35, 30, 25.
Ooh.
And out of bounds, knocked out by Jerry Deckard inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line. So West Virginia definitely has the momentum now, having gotten the ball back by an interception. And a 19-yard pickup that time puts the ball down to the 22-yard line, let's call it, in Oklahoma State territory, where it is first down and 10 yards to go. 19-yard run by Brown.
Boy, he was in a pile. He was in a pile. All of a sudden, he came out of it by himself.
Here's the gift to the fullback, Greg Taylor. He's hit awfully hard. Good defense by the Cowboys at the 19-yard line. Stocking him up was the center of the line, Kim Johnson, on the initial tackle. Boy, he hit him hard. A gain, however, from the 22. Let's see where they spot it. I believe right at about the 20-yard line. A 2-yard pickup. Second down 8 for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 20. We have 7 minutes right now to go before halftime, and the game tied at 14.
You might be right, because there's some mouthing going on between every play, so maybe that guy's observation was not wrong.
Now we have West Virginia coming up to the line of scrimmage, and then we have the officials blowing the whistles left and right from the 20. Second down 8 for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 20-yard line. Major Harris, the quarterback, gives to Brown. That man again. He's hit, and a nice tackle one-on-one. Nicely done by Ricky Shaw. Virtually no gain. May have gotten a half yard. Let's call it for 19 and a half. Good tackle by Ricky Shaw from Fayetteville, North Carolina. As far as the status on David Bailey, I don't believe he has been back in since he was limped off earlier. Sean Mackey is in there at his position now, which is at defensive right tackle.
You're correct. I have not seen him back in.
Third down play for West Virginia. This is where they really hurt the Cowboys today thus far. They picked up the yardage on third down. Harris takes the snap, rolls left. He's going to carry the ball to keeper. He leaps over one tackler and comes to rest at the 16-yard line, and that's far short of the first down, if I've read the yard stripes correctly. And Sim Drain the third hit him first. Then he was knocked off his feet by Kim Johnson. And let's see where they spot that football at the 17-yard line. So it's fourth down for West Virginia. We'll have a field goal attempt. First one of the day for West Virginia. And let's check the field goal statistics of Charlie Bauman. It'll be about the 24, so it's a 34-yard field goal. From this range, he's 2 for 3. Snap, the ball is down. The kick is in the air, and it makes it. Just got over the goal post. And so West Virginia takes the lead for the first time today on a 34-yard field goal by Charlie Bauman with 5:41 to go before halftime. So the Cowboys got away without giving up the touchdown, Tom, and that's got to give the defense some heart.
I would think so. The
kicker, as we indicated, All-State and All-American in Cathedral Prep in Erie, Pennsylvania. Ball blows off the kicking tee, so it will be held by Dave Lockwood, I believe.
I bet he's kicked on a few days like this in Erie, Pennsylvania in the past, so it doesn't seem to bother him any.
Exactly right. This is not eerie to him.
Oh, no. Did I set you up or what?
Here's the kickoff from right to left. It's end over end, but will be short of the goal line. Hits at the 10, skips at the 5, and Barry Sanders lets it go into the end zone. And the Cowboys will start from their own 20-yard line on their 5th offensive possession. OSU scored the first 2 times they had the ball. Then they were stopped and they had a punt block the 3rd time. Then they gave up the ball on the interception. Now they start their own 20, 1st and 10. And we have 5:41 to go before halftime. Oklahoma State trailing for the first time today, 17-14.
If you're Don Nehlen, you have to feel very good about your kicking game because Barry Sanders has yet to run one back at you.
The element's definitely a factor there, Tom, because
he
Sanders
can't get to the ball. That's right.
He would have fielded that one on a dry day. 2 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left. I formation Cowboys from their own 20. Mike Gundy, the quarterback. Here's Gundy getting the ball off to Thurman Thomas, trying to get around the left side. Nothing there for him, and so he just gets what he can, which is about a yard or two. David Grant, the middle guard on the tackle, at about the 21-yard line. Cowboys have second down play, 9 yards to go from their own 21-yard line. Oklahoma State and West Virginia in the Sun Bowl here in El Paso, Texas, where we had a very cold morning, strong winds, and then the snow began just about the time the game did. Dykes and Green come wide to the right. Second down 9 for Oklahoma State, their own 21. Gundy rolls to his right, looking to pass, throws up the field in the middle, and it is dropped at the 30-yard line. Dykes had it for the moment. Good defensive play by Terry White, who transferred from Ohio State to West Virginia. And this is his, he's had a great year. 3 interceptions, leading his team in interceptions this year. He knocked the ball away from Dykes after it appeared Dykes had the completion. Third down play, 9 for Oklahoma State from their own 21-yard line.
I think he pulled his arm away just at the last minute. It seemed like from our angle that Dykes had the football. There was some contact right there, right before the ball got to the point of contact. Both players going for it.
John Beauvais, the center, up over the ball. 2 wide receivers to the right, Hartley, Dykes, and Ronnie Williams. 2 for 4 on third down conversions. Rolling right is Gundy, fakes the throwback pass, looks downfield, nobody open, throws a short pass, intercepted 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown West Virginia.
Somehow you could see that one coming. It was so slow developing. They took away the throwback right off the bat, and then Mike kept looking, dancing around, trying to find somebody to come back to the football. Just threw it up in there where the Cowboy was, but I didn't see who the receiver was, but whoever it was did not come back for the football. It was Dykes, I believe, and there he was to pick it off. That's a big turnover.
Darnell Warren makes the interception, and we're checking the statistics. I believe he has 1 this year. 1 interception, so West Virginia now goes up 23-14 by 9 points, and apparently they go for the 1-point conversion. Bauman at the left end zone. West Virginia's taken over the momentum in this game, obviously, and as well as the lead. You just feel it. Cowboys have not been in West Virginia territory since late in the first quarter. Here's the extra point at the end zone to our left, the north end zone. Bauman will kick. Timko will hold. The ball is down. The kick is in the air. It's good. We'll keep it right here, Tom, but Mike Gundy is intercepted in the game, and it went all the way 21 yards for a touchdown to win. Deep kick. Thurman Thomas takes it 2 yards deep. He'll run it out. Thomas to the 5, to the 10, up the middle of the field. 15, cuts to his left. Hits a brick wall at about the 18, and then is pushed back. He may have gotten to the 20, which is where he would have gotten anyway had it touched it back, and it'll be 1st and 10 Oklahoma State as they start for their 6th offensive possession, throwing 20. And they scored the first 2 times they had the ball and have really not done well since then. Cowboys trailed 24-14 with 4:47 to go before halftime in the 54th annual Sun Bowl. El Paso, Texas. Just a very light snowfall falling here. Dykes is left. Green is wide right. Mike Gundy, the quarterback. High formation. Garrett Limbrick, the fullback. You have to Thurman Thomas over right tackle. Cracks upfield for short yardage to about the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. Pushed back hard by West Virginia's middle line. Chris Parker, David Grant, and Brad Hunt. Thurman Thomas will get 2, let's call it, to the 22-yard line. 2nd down play. 8 yards to go for Oklahoma State from their own 22.
And again, you can see the confidence beginning to grow across that defensive front. After that first quarter, I think the Mountaineers were a little shell-shocked, but they're actually coming after Thomas now with a little authority.
Wide receivers are deployed left and right. Mike Gundy, the Midwest City youngster, up, quick pass caught by Dykes at the 30-yard line. Spins free, goes to the 35. Dykes to the 40 and tackled on a great reception run up at the 44-yard line. Hartley Dykes tackled by Willie Edwards, hanging on for dear life. What a great reception. Then a flag is thrown down at the point of the tackle. We could have had a face mask there. Let's see what the referee, Patrick Sweeney, has to say.
Well, that was about as timely, Bob, as we're getting ready to read the flag.
Personal foul. That's some of that jawing, and with the results of it, we should say. When you have that attitude, you tend to hit late and so forth, and that'll cost West Virginia 15 yards that the Cowboys certainly can use, trailing by 10 with 4:07 to go before the end of the half. The ball is all the way down to the 41-yard line, so that was a gain, Tom, from the Oklahoma State 20, counting the pass plus the penalty all the way to the West Virginia 41-yard line.
I tell you, that's a bunch of yards right there. 22 on the pass, as you said. You go about 31 yards in one play. That'll get you out of a hole in a hurry and maybe restore some momentum.
1st down 10 at the West Virginia 41-yard line. Gundy looks over the defense, sees a 4-man front. Long signal count, maybe changing the play. Gundy gets the exchange, gives to Thurman Thomas over the left side, finds a little crack, spins, and still fighting. Now is pushed back hard after he gets to the 36-yard line. Gain of about 5. Preston Waters will get credit for the initial contact. He's the cornerback, but Thurman came close to breaking that one. Good blocking by Mike Wolf and Chris Stanley.
Yeah, I was going to say Stanley came back and threw a wicked block as he peeled back and got Thurman actually the initial area he needed to get started. Good sliding block by Chris Stanley.
Cowboys come up the line of scrimmage on a 2nd down play and 5. Let's call a little more than 5 from the 36. Parker is wide to the right. That's Brent Parker. Gundy fakes the handoff, rolls to his left and make a reverse, and a good play defensively. Now Gundy gets away. and tries to fight back the line of scrimmage, doesn't make it back, but what a great effort by Mike Gundy, showing no ill effects from the injury. Dale Jackson had a hold of him, and I don't know how Gundy did it, but he got away from him and tried to fight back, and let's see where they put the ball down. The line of scrimmage had been the 36. They'll put it at the 39, so he loses 3 on the play, and it's 3rd down 8 for Oklahoma State, the West Virginia 39.
Ooh, they read that one perfectly. It was almost as if they had that one pretty well scouted, because the defender went right with Mike Gundy. He was not faked out at all, and a big fella moving with Mike.
Cowboys up the line, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cowboys 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Gundy back to pass. Pump fakes, now throws a short pass, caught by Dillard, and he tries to get the first down. I believe he does, right at the point he needed to go, which is around the 31-yard line, right where that marker is. He goes out of bounds. Mike Wolf threw a nice block, and a good pass ad-lib by Mike Gundy to J.R. Dillard from Cleveland, Oklahoma. Tackled by Eric Lester, and we're still trying to determine for sure whether or not it was a first down. We'll check the number of receptions for J.R. Dillard on the year, as he's been a key ever since he's been at Oklahoma State. J.R. Dillard came into the game with 10 receptions. That's his 11th of the year. It is first down Oklahoma State. That's called at the 31-yard line. Got exactly what he needed for the first down.
Good job by Dillard to cut it back upfield when in this treacherous footing. That's difficult when you're running toward the sideline and have to cut on a dime to get it upfield, but he did.
West Virginia has called a timeout. J.R. Dillard. 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 31. OSU trailing by 10, 24-14. Gundy gives the ball to Thurman Thomas. Semi-draw play down the middle, and he puts the head down, gets to the 25, a 6-yard pickup. For Thurman Thomas, Robert Pickett set up a picket line and brought him down at the 25-yard line. Good blocking by the middle of the Cowboy line. 2nd down play, and 4 yards to go for Oklahoma State, the West Virginia 25. 2:14 to go before halftime. Oklahoma State breaks the huddle now. Dykes goes to the left side. Ronnie Williams wide right. Otherwise, of course, the I formation. J.R. Dillard tied in on the right side. From the West Virginia 25, Gundy gives to Thurman Thomas, cuts back toward the middle, leaps forward, and may have the first down, depending upon where they mark the ball. Needed to get to the 21, got to the 20. It is first down Oklahoma State, the West Virginia 20-yard line. And that's the 10th first down, the Oklahoma State, for Oklahoma State on the game. Theron Ellis, defensive end, tripped up Thurman Thomas at the 20-yard line.
Once again, it's so elementary, but the passing game really gives Thurman that extra edge he needs, a little more room to operate.
Minute 44 to go before halftime. Cowboys at the West Virginia 20-yard line. Gundy on the inside handoff to Garrett Lembriggs.
To Mike Wolf.
Or that's Mike Wolf, tackle eligible. That's the first time the Cowboys have run that this year. A very quick opener in the game to Mike Wolf. Back offense, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass. Gundy rolls out of the pocket, gets away from one would-be tackler. Short pass, caught by Dillard out of bounds, but not much gain. Goes from the 25-yard line down about the 21 or 2. Stops the clock. That's the good news. 1:08 to go before halftime. And they'll spot the ball. We're waiting for them to mark it down at the 21-yard line. So a gain on that little short pass of 4 yards to J.R. Dillard, the tight end, who caught his 2nd pass of the day. Oklahoma State now breaks the huddle from the West Virginia 21, trailing 24-14, 1:08 to go before halftime. Dykes wide right, Gerard Green split left. J.R. Dillard tight end on the left side for the 21. Gundy fakes to Thurman Thomas. Gundy has to run out of the pocket. He looks for Dykes. He throws for Dykes. Caught. He drops the ball. Had it in his numbers. Dropped it at the 5-yard line. Dykes was thinking where he was going to run with it. And he has, we've all done, no matter at what level, right to him, and he dropped it at the 5-yard line. Might have gotten all the way in had he made the catch.
Boy, that was going to be a close foot race right there, because Dykes had nobody on him once he made his cut. It was in his hands, and I know all he did was see touchdown right there and didn't get it. And no one feels worse than Hart Lee about that one.
So it is a 4th down play, and now the Cowboy coaches decide they'll go for the touchdown or the first down. Williams to the left with 1:01 to go before halftime. Snap, ball is down. Kick is blocked, and it's no good. It's taken by John Bovair, the Cowboy center, out of the air, and he'll be down at the 13-yard line. And with 53 seconds to go before halftime, West Virginia stopped the Cowboys, no points, and they'll take over the ball at the 13 or 14-yard line. Blocked by Theron Ellis.
And again, this is uncharacteristic, because the Cowboy special teams have been just super all year long. We've had a blocked punt, a blocked field goal here in the first half.
And a pass intercepted for a touchdown.
Which, again, is a credit to the West Virginia people, because obviously they have scouted out quite well. And the blocking situation in a field goal, you have less footing really to hold that block, and you can come barreling in. But West Virginia has got to be feeling pretty good about their game plan at this point.
There's some big debate. The ball is at the 19-yard line. And Major Harris will simply touch the knee down, as West Virginia is content to go in with a 10-point lead here at halftime and talk things over. Line of scrimmage, the 19. Lost
at that rate, he'd have a heck of a day here. But again, I don't think he'd have any problems with the heat, however. It probably hasn't gotten any warmer. If anything, it's probably colder, and we started the day at 35 degrees.
Grantis Bell, who is a junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, is back to receive the kickoff, and normally John Talley would perform that chore. The fellow that was injured we were talking about just moments ago, actually a three-deep secondary as to receive the kickoff to start the second half for the West Virginia Mountaineers, along with Eugene Napoleon and Undra Johnson on either side. Here's the kickoff. It'll go down to the 1-yard line, to the goal line, to the 5 to the 10. Grantis Bell to the 15 to the far side is ushered out of bounds up at about the 20-yard line, which is where the ball would have been had it been kicked in the end zone. So West Virginia will have their first offensive possession of the second half, leading by 10, starting from their own 20. West Virginia, the game started from their own 21 the first half, their own 20, their own 24, the Oklahoma State 49, the Oklahoma State 41, and the 49-yard line. So they, in the first half, had the ball 6 times, scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They shift from the wishbone to the I formation, wide receivers deployed left and right. Major Harris, the quarterback, pitches back to tailback Brown, sweeping to the right side. He's hit at the 23 and tackle right there. Avalanche of Cowboy tacklers. Ricky Shaw on the stop initially, along with Sim Drain III, and also Kenneth Cumbie, who's in the game for Oklahoma State. A gain from the 20 up to the 23-yard line. West Virginia with a second down play and 7 yards to go from their own 23. A backfield of Major Harris at quarterback, Craig Taylor the fullback, Anthony Brown or A.B. Brown at tailback, and the wide receiver Grantis Bell, and also Harvey Smith. Second down 7, I formation. Major Harris may be changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Just the exchange. Fakes the ball to Craig Taylor, keeps the ball. A nice big tackle by Jerry Deckard on Major Harris at the 25. A nice big tackle is a strange way to describe it, but that's exactly what it was. As Jerry Deckard made the big play, it was a big tackle because had he missed it, you looked as though, Tom, and to me at least, that Major Harris might have gotten long yardage out of it.
That's right, because that's his man on that particular formation. And it's interesting to note, I was talking with Lewis Campbell, defensive coordinator, last night, and they said they hadn't noticed that Harris audible much this game or this year. They forced him into an audible that time.
By the way, David Bailey has not come back in since he was injured earlier. A gain of 2 there, 3rd down and 5. And here's Major Harris rolling to the left, looking to pass, fires one. It's knocked down incomplete at the 34-yard line. Jerry Deckard makes another big play. The pass was intended for the wideout or the tight end, Keith Wynn, but a nice defensive play, and West Virginia faces a 4th down play and 5 from their own 25-yard line. So just as we began the game, the Cowboy defense stopped West Virginia their first offensive possession to start the game. They stopped West Virginia the first possession to start the third quarter. Here's the snap back to the punter. Clarence Carrion, a line drive kick. Barry Sanders takes the ball at the 32-yard line. Sanders 35, cuts to his left at the 38-yard line. Stiff arms his way to the 37, up to the 40, the sideline. Oh, and he's hammered in the head. Had an official seen that, he should have thrown the flag. A shot to the head of Barry Sanders by one of the West Virginia players knocks him out of bounds at the 45-yard line after a 43-yard punt. And the Oklahoma State Cowboys have first down, 10 yards to go from their own 44-yard line for their first offensive possession to start the second half. Trailing 24-14 with 13:28 to go in the third quarter.
I agree with you. It looked like there was going to be a flag that time. It was a shot up around the face mask.
Oklahoma State from their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Brian Keith shifts from tight end left to tight end right. I formation. Thomas at the top of the I. Gets the exchange. Good blocking. Gets the 50. He's the 45. He's at the 40. And all the way down to the West Virginia 37-yard line. Great speed by Thomas and a huge hole opened up. Brian Keith, a great block to spring Thurman Thomas. Got a 20-yard pickup on the play from the 44-yard line in Oklahoma State territory. Not quite 20, 19-yard line, or 19 yards rather, to the 37-yard line in West Virginia territory. And the Cowboys have their 12th first down of the game. Dykes wide to the left, Williams wide to the right. I formation from the West Virginia 37-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Mike Gundy gets the exchange, gives the ball out to Thurman Thomas. Over the right tackle spot, he's twisted down after he hits the 35. He'll get about to the 34-yard line. Let's see where they spot the football. Good blocking or good tackling on the left side. Pat Marlatt and David Grant on the stop for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Incidental face mask. Let's see what the official will signal to us. The referee, Patrick Sweeney, says face mask on West Virginia, but we can't hear what he's saying, so it'll still be a first down situation. They'll penalize West Virginia from where the play stopped, which was the 34-yard line. Place that ball down to the 29, so a 5-yard pickup. First down at the 29, and it winds up only 2 yards to go for the first down. At the West Virginia 29-yard line, West Virginia leading 24-14. The I formation, they give to Thurman Thomas over the left side. He cuts over left tackle, has the first down as he leans down to the 25. Boy, that offensive line for the Cowboys blocking much more crisply than they were as we ended the second quarter, Tom.
Well, again, I think that reflects the poise and confidence that this offensive unit has. We talked about that right before the teams came back on. They're going through the things that have gotten them here, that basically have gotten them the 9 wins this season. Give it to Thurman, block, do the correct things, and occasionally mix in this pass when they're looking for Thurman, and the offense will be moving.
Gerard Green and Ronnie Williams wide right. Hartley Dyke split left. No tight end. 1st and 10 from the West Virginia 25. The 13th first down in the game, the second this half for Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy hands the ball off to Thurman Thomas down the middle. He's at the 20, veers back to his left and gets to the 15-yard line. Thurman running very, very well, and just as we had told you and speculated, the field in much better running condition. Ted Kester on the stop at the 15-yard line. That is very, very close to the 10 yards needed for the first down. The chain will be brought in from the far sideline, and they'll measure.
And there again is a good indication of what you're talking about, the great cutback ability that Thurman has to cut it back up over the middle as he's veering to his right or left. And that's a tribute, again, to the blocking up front plus the dryness of the field. That's something they couldn't do when the field was completely covered.
It's just short of the first down, just inches above the 15-yard line, and so it'll bring up a second down, inches to go for Oklahoma State. This becomes pretty much a free down for Coach Gundy and the Cowboy offensive staff, Tom, because if they want to try something a little different or try the pass, something that they could afford to just throw into the ground incomplete, they would still have just inches on a third down play. So this is one of those free downs they talk about.
What they've done in the past on some of these sometimes is go to that throwback to either Thurman on the right or left. Let's see what they do.
Double tight end is the setup on a third down or a second down on inches. Mike Gundy calls the signal, I formation. Thomas at the tailback. Gundy pitches the ball to Thurman Thomas, just straight vanilla. Over right tackle, cracks his way down across the 10 to the 8-yard line. The Cowboys went straight vanilla with a double tight end. A flag was dropped at the point of the tackle at the 8-yard line. And Oklahoma State celebrating, so apparently another penalty, a face mask. I guess West Virginia would be their second in this drive. And the officials are talking things over. Mike Gundy, the captain, they're waiting to see what the officials say. The play ended about the 8 or 9-yard line. Now here is the referee, Patrick Sweeney. He'll signal to us, face mask against West Virginia. As we speculated, that'll move the ball down inside the 5-yard line, I believe.
I'll tell you what there's both of them been, Bob. They've been the man who's trying to reach back as Thurman goes by him and try to pull him down. Thurman's running with so much authority here. And we've seen him do this how many times since he's been at Oklahoma State. It's almost as if, they got together and said, give me the football. Let's get this thing back on keel. Get us back in the right direction. Thurman almost doing it himself, although he's getting great help up front.
After the face mask penalty on West Virginia, the ball just upfield from the West Virginia 4. Double tight end. Ronnie Williams split wide to the right. Is the only wide receiver. He comes back in motion to his left. Mike Gundy calling the signals. Long signal count. Gundy gets the exchange. Gives the ball to Thomas. Down the middle to the 2, to the 1. Touchdown, Cowboys! A nice run by Thurman Thomas and great blocking by Chris Stanley, Mike Wilson, John Bovair, along with fullback Garrett Lembrick. And the Cowboys drug Brad Hunt, who's allowed to drag 263 pounds into the end zone. Thurman did. And the Cowboys' impressive time in that drive as they go 66 yards on my count here for the touchdown that pulls the Cowboys to within 4. And we'll see Kerry Blanchard's attempt at the end zone to our left, which is the north end zone, trying to draw the Cowboys to within 3 here early in the third period. The snap, the ball is down. Kerry Blanchard line drives the field goal in, or the extra point in perfectly. And from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, 11:25 to go in the third quarter. The score, West Virginia 24, Oklahoma State 21. This is the Cowboy Network.
Performer. And I got the impression at the halftime, there were really no adjustments. It'd be interesting later on to find out. But basically, let's do the things that got us here. Let's do the things right that got us here. Let's execute, give them to the man who's brought it to us, and let him do the rest. And the Cowboys showed it pretty good offensive thrust on that first series.
No passing, I believe, in that six-play drive. Here's the kickoff from Kerry Blanchard, right to left, end over end. Will carry deep into the end zone. And Grant Espel lets it hit and roll out of the end zone. So West Virginia, for the second time out of 2, will start from their own 20-yard line here in the third period. Their second offensive possession, 24-21. Oklahoma State down by 3. West Virginia has the ball with 11:25 to go third quarter.
And lest we forget, too, the defense has to do its job. It did its job in the first series. 3 and out in the punt, and the defense will have to do that again. Get the ball back while that offense is hot, and let's get back in the end zone again.
Major Harris, Craig Taylor, A.B. Brown in the I formation. Wide receivers Bell wide right and Harvey Smith wide left. Here's Major Harris giving off to Brown. He's hit hard by Sim Drain at the 22, gets one more to the 23. A 3-yard pickup for Anthony Brown from the 20 up to 23. It is second down play and 7 for West Virginia at their own 23-yard line. 11:11 to go, third quarter now. Replacement of the game. Calvin Phillips replaces Harvey Smith, that wide receiver. Or rather, replaces A.B. Brown, I believe. Brown is dazed a bit after really being smacked hard, I think, by Sim Drain, Tom.
It's somebody, I believe it was Drain, who really nailed him. I think his 132 yards at halftime got everybody's attention.
Eugene Napoleon at tailback now in place of Brown for West Virginia. 2nd and 7 from their own 23. The fake to Craig Taylor. Harris keeps the ball. Great blocking. 30, 35, and out of bounds up at the 36 or 7 yard line, maybe 38. Well, what a great block on the corner as Major Harris showed super speed. The business management major, freshman redshirt from Pittsburgh, PA, the quarterback who hasn't completed a pass today, but he ran well there and got from the 23 up to the 37-yard line in West Virginia territory. That's West Virginia's 14th first down of the game. Both teams have 14 first downs. That's their first here in the second half. West Virginia from their own 37-yard line. The I formation in motion is Harvey Smith from left to right. 5-man front. Give off to Napoleon. He is hit and knifed down after pickup of about 2 yards from the 37. Will make it close to that 40-yard line, maybe just across it. Eugene Napoleon is from Jersey City, New Jersey. Went to St. Joseph High School, sophomore, 21, 5'10", 176. Call the ball across the 40-yard line, a pickup of about 3 yards, and it brings up a second down play a little more than 7 yards to go for West Virginia, just across their own 40-yard line. Tight end on the right is Keith Wynn for West Virginia. Major Harris pitches the ball to Napoleon. The blockers, a great tackle by Gillum at the point of the line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line. He just buckled up Eugene Napoleon. He is not the back at all that A.B. Brown is, at least off these first 2 carries, Tom. Even though once he had a 94-yard kickoff return, he too is a transfer from Pittsburgh, as is A.B. Brown, whom he replaced. But the Cowboys' Melvin Gillum really made a great tackle there for no gain, maybe lost half a yard.
Last 2 plays, Gillum's really come up on run support and forced the play back inside. That was the key.
Third down play, a little more than 7 yards to go, right around the 40-yard line in West Virginia's territory. They're 5 of 8 on third down conversions. Back to pass, Major Harris. He steps up the pocket, will run with it, throws a long pass, has a man at the 25, 20, 15, and a great tackle, a saving tackle at the 15-yard line. Grandis Bell doing a little dance out there after he makes the catch. Grandis Bell makes the catch, and Melvin Gillum makes the tackle, a saving tackle at 15, as Major Harris looked as though he was going to run the ball, and Gillum came up on run support, as Tom indicated earlier, and then did a great job to get back to make that tackle, a 44-yard gain.
Well, again, Melvin was in no man's land because Harris looked like he was going to run the ball, did a good job of improvisation, and that's all it took was that one hesitation. Bell blew by him, and what a quick reaction for Gillum.
2 wide receivers to the right from the Cowboy 15, 1st and 10 for West Virginia. There's a handoff to Brown, who's back in there. He's ridden down by Sean Mackey, and a flag is thrown at the 13-yard line. The play ended at about the 12 or 13 on the handoff to A.B. Brown, who was back in the lineup. And I believe it's against West Virginia, perhaps holding, as Tom indicated it is. That's what the referee signals.
Well, I thought where I was sitting here, it appeared that one of the Cowboys was just literally pulled to the turf, and the official's flag went flying in that area, and that's usually a dead giveaway in that area. That's going to be a hold.
So they pick up the football. They'll move it back. The line of scrimmage having been the 15-yard line, they'll put it back at the 25. It'll be 1st and 20 for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 25-yard line. The score is 24-21. West Virginia leads by 3 with 9:10 to go third quarter. Grandis Bell wide to the right. By the way, that was the first pass completion of the day for Major Harris a minute ago, that 44-yarder. 2 wide receivers to the right, Harvey Smith and Grandis Bell. Tight end Keith Wynn on the left. Here's Major Harris rolling back to his left. The pass, good protection. Now it collapses. The Cowboys sack him. Whoa, Sean Mackey really clobbered him. Ron Williams, along with Mackey on the tackle, and Ricky Shaw helped out as well. They really clobbered Major Harris for a loss from the 25 back up to the 33. That's an 8-yard loss.
Well, they did a good job of coming from the ends. Harris really had to be, it was contained. He had no place to go. Cowboys did a good job of covering the receiver on the play. They only had one receiver out in the pass pattern, and it broke down in a hurry. They sandwiched them.
It's second down play on 28 for West Virginia to Oklahoma State, 33-yard line. Wide receivers are left and right. Smith to the left, Grandis Bell to the right. I formation. There's a fake to the fullback, keeping his Major hip.
Harris can run the football. There's no doubt about that. Harris can get in and out of a crowd as good as anybody we've seen this year. Looked like the Cowboys had him contained at the line of scrimmage. But as you mentioned right off the bat, Bob, he has such great athletic ability.
Wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left. No tight end here. One back offense, back to pass Major Harrison, the quarterback draw play, gets by the would-be tackler, and then ridden down at the 20-yard line by Jerry Deckard. The man assigned to tackle Major Harris couldn't handle the job as he got by him, and that's why Harris was able to gain from the 27 down to the 20. But it's a 4th down play, and West Virginia will go the field goal route from the Oklahoma State 20. Actually, the 21 is where they mark the ball down.
Great reaction by Jerry Deckard. He saved what could have been a disaster because Harris was beaming down that far sideline.
It's a 38-yard field goal attempt, and from this distance, Charlie Bauman is 2 of 3. Snap, the ball is down, angle to the left. The kick is long enough, end over end, and it is good. He hit it, so West Virginia gets 3 out of it, but the Cowboys trail by only 6. That's just a touchdown away. It's anybody's game. From the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, the score, West Virginia 27, Oklahoma State 21. You're listening to Cowboy football.
To the left.
Clouds are pretty low over those mountains, mighty low. All right, here's the kickoff from Charlie Bauman, a line drive type kick. Skips at the 15, into the hands of Barry Sanders at the 8-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Sanders upfield, 30-yard line, and up to the 35-yard line. There's a fumble, and West Virginia says they've recovered. Let's see if the officials agreed. Cowboys say they've recovered. And the officials have said Oklahoma State was down before the fumble occurred at the 36-yard line. So a 26-yard kickoff return for Barry Sanders. The Cowboys have it at their own 36. First down, 10 yards to go for their second offensive possession. They started from their own 44 the first possession. This time they start from their own 36.
Boy, I'm glad that happened right there. That would have been a momentum changer in a hurry, wouldn't it?
Certainly would indeed. Dykes to the left, Green to the right. Thurman Thomas, the tailback from the Cowboy 36, first and 10. J.R. Dillard shifts from tight end left to tight end right. From the 36, handoff to Thurman Thomas, up the middle, bangs his head into a crowd at the 37, gets the 38-yard line perhaps. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. About a 2-yard pickup for the All-American Thurman Thomas. With 6:53 to go third quarter, West Virginia leading by 6, 27-21. Now here's Gerard Green being replaced by Ronnie Williams, the Wichita Falls, Texas senior, 6'4", 225. Williams goes wide to the right side from the 38-yard line. Second down 8 for Oklahoma State at their own 38. Mike Gundy, who stayed on the ground this entire third period, rolls to his right, looks to pass or run, looking upfield. He'll run with it, puts the shoulder into tackler number 89, Rodney Wilson, who rides him out of bounds, but Gundy picks up good yardage all the way up to the 43-yard line. About a 5-yard pickup or so, and it'll bring up a third down play for Oklahoma State, and 3 yards to go from their own 43. They had to go to a third down not once in that initial touchdown drive to start the third period.
You heard Thurman Thomas on our pregame get-together say his Christmas gift would be 3 touchdowns, 200 yards, and a victory. Well, he's a third of the way there. He's got the 3 touchdowns.
Here are the Cowboys, a big third down play. J.R. Dillard shifts to tight end left. Oklahoma State in the 3rd and 3 from their own 43-yard line. Gundy pitches to Thurman Thomas. Tripped up in the backfield and down after a short gain, and it'll be 4th down, punting time for Oklahoma State. No gain on the play. Thurman Thomas actually looked as though he ran into his own man, but the credit there goes to the defensive line for West Virginia as they push the Cowboy offensive line back into Thurman Thomas.
That's exactly right. There was no place to go. Thurman took it that side there and really had to snake his way through his own people as they jammed it at the line of scrimmage.
Now the Cowboys will run their quick punt. They kept the offensive unit there. Now the punting team quickly runs on. Of course, Thurman Thomas is the up back, the blocking back on the punting situation.
Right, could be a fake.
Could be a fake. It has happened once during the season. West Virginia shifting around. The snap is back to Kerry Cooper. He will indeed punt the ball. Kicks it high in the air. Not too far, however. It will hit at the 18. Bounces for Oklahoma State across the 10. Rolls down across the 5. Rolls down to the 1 and will be killed at the 1 by Ronnie Williams. A great punt by Kerry Cooper of 56 yards. And so West Virginia starts at their own 1. We have a timeout on the field with 5:35 to go third quarter. From the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Quarterback Craig Taylor, the fullback. A.B. Brown, the tailback. Double tight end. And here's the handoff to Brown. Very predictable. He is hit after he reaches the 5-yard line. Actually was hit by Cumbie at the 4 and then got a ride to the 5. So a pickup from the 1 to the 5. 4 yards gain. West Virginia can't be unhappy with that. That deep in their own territory. Actually just shy of that 5-yard line at about the 4.5. Second down play, and about 6.5 yards to go as the snow increases just ever so slightly here at the 54th Sun Bowl in El Paso. I formation, double tight end. Man on the wing to the left is in motion. That's R.B. Smith. Major Harris, the quarterback, keeps the ball. Good job that time by the man assigned to Major Harris on the play, Wade Weller, who missed him earlier, but that time did his assignment and stopped Major Harris after a pickup of about 2. He'll gain up to the 7-yard line. It brings up a 3rd down and 4 for West Virginia at their own 7-yard line. Grantis Bell checks into the West Virginia lineup at wide receiver, bringing in a play from the bench on a 3rd down 4 for West Virginia from their own 7-yard line. 6 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. Wide receivers, only one out to the right side. That's Grantis Bell. Double tight end for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Major Harris fakes the handoff, rolls back to his right. He's in the end zone. He gets out of the end zone, starts to run with the ball. Will be tripped up, but may have the first down. Oh, it'll be very, very close. I believe he's short of the first down now as we re-look. Very, very close at the 11-yard line. He was trapped in the end zone for just a second by Simdrain III and by Rod Smith, maybe, but he got away from those two guys, was tackled just above the 10-yard line. They'll bring the chain in all the way across the field, and we'll measure. That's close.
It is. It looks to be short from here, though, by perhaps a half the length of a football.
And they're not even going to measure it, Tom. They say it's short.
Cowboys really closed on Harris in a hurry, and they had to because they had no time to waste.
So, deep in their own territory, leading by 6, Lance Carrion will be back to punt the ball, a 42-yard average on the year. Sanders and Gillum are back deep to receive the punt from the 11-yard line. Waiting for the deep snap. Long signal count. Snap is on the money to Carrion. He gets the kick away, a line drive. Barry Sanders takes it to West Virginia 46 to the 45, goes to his left, right, now back to his left, trying to find somewhere to go. Can't run, just dives to the 39-yard line. A 35-yard punt. Cowboys great field position at the West Virginia 39-yard line as the kicking of Kerry Cooper and the defense do their job, and the Cowboys have a golden opportunity. Cowboys just downfield from the West Virginia 40-yard line. Mike Gundy with 3:49 to go third quarter. Gives the ball off to Barry Sanders. Goes to his left, run into his own man. Now he's in the clear for the moment, the 40, the 35, and ushered out of bounds inside the 35 to the West Virginia bench at about the 34, 33-yard line. Chris Herring and Bo Orlando, linebacker and strong safety, make the tackle on Barry Sanders, the sophomore from Wichita. And let's see where they spot the ball. They put it at the 33, so he got a good gain of 7 on the play from the 40 down to the 33 in West Virginia territory. And it brings up 2nd down play and 3 yards to go for OSU.
Really didn't appear to be anything there. And he got that many yards just on his own ability to speed around the flank. Some confusion in the Cowboy backfield now as Gerard Green was a late arrival.
Double tight end for Oklahoma State from the 33. I formation, give to Barry Sanders. Over right tackle, jukes his way close to the 30 and then pushed back. Short of the first down, it appears. May mark it only to the 31. Needed 3 and got 2 on the play. 3rd down, a yard to go for Oklahoma State at the West Virginia 31-yard line. 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Here is Thurman Thomas checking into the OSU lineup. Along with Ronnie Williams, Gerard Green, and Barry Sanders leave the lineup. 3rd down, a yard to go for OSU from the West Virginia 31. Cowboys trailing 27-21, 3:10 to go third quarter. Double tight end. Ronnie Williams wide right. Mike Gundy, the quarterback, from the 31-yard line. Gundy takes the ball, gives to Thomas down the middle, has the first down easily, and then cracks down to about the 26-yard line. Boy, he got a great hole opened up by Doug Meacham, Byron Woodard, and John Bovair. Brad Hunt on the tackle, but Squirmin Thurman gets down to the 26 is where they'll mark it. That's a 5-yard pickup, and the Cowboys have their 15th first down at the West Virginia 26-yard line.
Did he get through the hole in a hurry?
He did.
I guarantee you, the hole was there, but he shot through it like a bullet. Thurman now 24 carries, 117 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Wide receivers left and right for Oklahoma State on a 1st and 10 from the West Virginia 26. Brian Keith, the tight end, shifts from right to left. Gundy in the option play, fakes a pass, now lobs a pass down the middle. It's into the end zone, incomplete. And if interference is called on West Virginia, as cornerback Preston Waters was there and bumped into Hartley Dykes. Also, Orlando was there, and they were face masking. In other words, not grabbing the face mask. I don't mean that, but keeping Dykes from seeing where the ball was simply by putting their hands in front of his face is what it amounts to.
I think that is what the call is going to be, because the contact was very minimal, and the Cowboys very fortunate because they had a rush on Gundy. Mike really threw it up for grabs, hoping that he could get it to Dykes, and Dykes could make one of his great adjustments, but the ball was underthrown. They were fortunate it was not intercepted. Now the penalty is marked off, and the Cowboys get a big, big break.
Well, it's put at the 15 yards down to the 11-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for Oklahoma State on the pass interference call against West Virginia.
But it shows the experience of the moxie of Gundy. However, he did throw it up there and did not take that sack.
It's wide right, Hartley Dykes. Wide left is Ronnie Williams. Double tight end, only Thurman Thomas behind Mike Gundy from the West Virginia 11-yard line. 1st and 10. Gundy races up, quick pass, badly thrown behind Hartley Dykes at the 6-yard line. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Oklahoma State at the West Virginia 11. Threw the ball behind Dykes as he threw in the far sideline on a quick raise up and fire. 2:29 to go third quarter. 27-21 West Virginia. Cowboys 2nd and 10 from the West Virginia 11.
That one hurt right there because for one of the few times all afternoon they gave Dykes single coverage. He had lots of room.
Green wide to the left side. Dykes wide right, double tight end. Thurman Thomas the only back behind Mike Gundy. That's from the 11. They give to Thurman Thomas, blocking on the right side. Thurman cuts back to his left at the 6. He's down at the 5 and then pushed back. Well, what a great run by Thurman Thomas. There was all kinds of traffic during that run. They'll say his forward progress was only to the 6, a 5-yard pickup, so this becomes a big, big play on a 3rd and 5 at the 6. Tackled by Terry White and friends. But Thurman was running in heavy traffic there.
Well, how he got 5, I don't even know. He had to reverse his field, really, on a dime, as he's so able to do. He just snaked his way for yards where there didn't appear to be any.
Hartley Dykes leaves the lineup. Let's see what the Cowboys lineup is as they break the huddle. They'll have a double tight end. Keith on the right, Dillard on the left. I formation. Ronnie Williams, the only wide receiver, on a 3rd and 5 from the 6. Gundy fakes the handoff. Gundy fires the pass. Touchdown, Cowboys to J.R. Dillard. And he does a little dance in the end zone. The Cowboys have tied it at 27. As J.R. Dillard they split the seam between Bo Orlando and Terry White, and Gundy was right on target with a bullet pass, and the Cowboys have marched 40 yards on the drive in about 7 plays. We're chuckling because J.R. happens to be a good friend of ours, Tom, and I know he enjoyed that little dance in the end zone.
Could you not see that one coming, though? They spread the field, really had J.R. on 1-on-1 once he split the line of scrimmage. They were all looking for Thurman, and what a bullet he kicked.
Here's the extra point by Blanchard. It's good, and the Cowboys have retaken the lead, 28-27, as Terry Blanchard knocks through the extra point. From the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, we have 1:43 to go third quarter. The score, Oklahoma State 28, West Virginia 27. You're listening to Cowboy Football.
Grocery shopping in a jiffy. That's what you've got to do.
Throwing touchdown. Here's the end-over-end kick by Blanchard, taken by Grant Bell, too deep in the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10. He's buckled up at the 12 or 13-yard line again by Milton Cockrell, and that was a bad judgment, as it turned out, by Grant Bell, because he started to put the knee down in the end zone, which would have brought it out to the 20. He ran it out and was hit hard by Cockrell at the 13.
Oh, is Milton Cockrell having a day on the special teams? And this is the special teams that we talked about all year long. They've come back, and that was a great effort. As soon as Cockrell saw he was coming out, Cockrell was there, one-on-one tackle, open field.
West Virginia 1st and 10 from their own 13, trailing now 28-27. Wide receivers left and right. In motion is Harvey Smith from left to right. Snow is picking up, by the way. Back to pass is Major Harris. Rolls right, fires a pass upfield, underthrown, a poorly thrown pass at the 27. Intended for the man that was in motion, Harvey Smith. Incomplete. Defending on the play was Rod Smith and Jerry Deckard. 2nd and 10 West Virginia from their own 13 with 1:35 to go third quarter.
Cowboys really want to get Major Harris in passing situations because that is not his forte. Harris now, that one completion, and that was on a play that was almost busted, really, is now 1 of 6 for 44 yards.
West Virginia breaks the huddle. Kevin Culkin, the center, up over the ball. He's a junior 263-pounder. I formation, wide receivers left and right. Man in motion from the far side is Calvin Phillips. Major Harris hands the ball off to A.P. Brown. He gets up to the 15 to the 16-yard line. Is hit and dropped there. David Bailey on the tackle, but glad to see him back in there. And let's see where they spot the ball precisely. It'll be in the area, as we call it, of the 16, I believe, getting from the 13 to the 16. Pickup of 3 brings up 3rd down play and 7 for West Virginia from their own 16-yard line. West Virginia's picked up 2 first downs, Oklahoma State 5, and the Cowboys have scored 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points to a field goal for West Virginia here in the third quarter. 6 of 11 on 3rd down conversions. Grant Bell wide left. Harvey Smith wide right. Bell in motion from left to right to overload the right side of the field. Here's Major Harris on the fake draw play. Harris back to pass. Gets away from would-be tackler. Is hit hard at the 19. Belted down above the 20-yard line. Good tackling by Oklahoma State. But gosh, that guy is scary. Major Harris goes back. You think you have him trapped. And then Marcus Jones finally made the stop, but not before he'd gotten across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And that's a gain of 5, but brings up a 4th down 2 for West Virginia at their own 21, trailing 28-27 with 30 seconds right now to go before the end of the third quarter.
Defense playing their hearts out there. 3 straight possessions. It's 3 in and down and punt. They've been able to keep Harris from running free, and they've stopped Brown pretty well on these first 3 possessions.
Now the Cowboy team encouraging their crowd on the far side to cheer it up for them, which they do. There's a short punt formation, the handoff. It's to Brown, to the 25, to the 30, the 35-40, and Cockrell makes the stop, and West Virginia's drive is alive. That was Craig Taylor rather than A.B. Brown, as we call it, on a trick short punt formation, and West Virginia has kept their drive alive as they had a 4th and 2 from the 21 and got from the 21 all the way up to the 40, first down, 10 yards to go.
Ooh, gutsy call right there, but it turned out to be a perfect call for the Mountaineers.
Tom, when you're 6 and 5, why not, huh?
Isn't that the truth?
West Virginia 1st and 10 from the own 40. Wide receivers left and right. Now the official steps in to blow the whistle. I don't know whether someone called a timeout or we have a problem. It's the end of the quarter. That's the problem. Tailback. There's the gift to Brown. Up the middle. He's hit hard at the 41 and pushed back. Got only a yard or so. Sim Drain the third led the tackling. Temperatures dropped to 32 degrees. The wind chill much colder. Snow wind out of the east at 9 miles per hour. That's the official weather forecast. Well, no, you wanted to hear that.
Well, we're not going to get any kind of help from back home, I'm afraid, with the weather the way it is there.
2nd down 9 for West Virginia from their own 41-yard line. Wide receiver is Calvin Phillips, wide right. Wide left is wide receiver Grandis Bell. Here is Major Harris on the draw play, handing off to Brown over right tackle. Finds a little crack, gets to the 45 to the 47-yard line. Ron Williams, defensive end on the tackle of A.B. Brown, or Anthony Brown, whichever you prefer. He prefers A.B. And so the gain going from the 41 to the 46, just upfield from it, about a 5.5-yard pickup. Big 3rd down play and 4 now for West Virginia from their own 46.5-yard line. They quickly are out over the ball. 2 wide receivers to the left. And A.B. Brown goes wide right. 6 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. Major Harris rolling a quick spot pass is caught for the first down at the 50. Down into Oklahoma State territory. Robert Nunn makes the tackle on Keith Wynn, the tight end, at the Oklahoma State 45-yard line, or 46. Let's call it the 46-yard line. So a gain from 146 to the other. 8 yards picked up, and West Virginia has their 17th first down. Their second in this drive at the Oklahoma State 46.
Gave the Cowboys a different look as Marcus Jones limps off the field. The Cowboys were trying to adapt to the look, and Wynn was one-on-one.
Sean Mackey replaces Marcus Jones, second tackle that's been injured today, although Bailey came back. In motion is Calvin Phillips. Major Harris hands to Brown. Big hole over the right side, and it closes quickly as the Cowboys, Robert Nunn trips him up, but he gets about 4, maybe 5 from the 46 down to the 42-yard line just inside it in Oklahoma State territory. Kenneth Cumbry replacing Robert Nunn at linebacker for Oklahoma State. At the OSU 42-yard line, a 4-yard pickup, 2nd down 6 for West Virginia.
Yeah, just 22 yards Brown has here in the second half, although he picked up most of his yards in the second quarter with the wind to his back.
Harvey Smith and Grandis Bell wide right, I formation otherwise. A.B. Brown at tailback. There's a handoff to fullback. Craig Taylor hits into a wall at the 39, so he got about 3 on the play. Kenneth Cumbry on the stop at the 39-yard line from the 42 down to the 39 at Oklahoma State's end of the field. It's 3rd down for West Virginia. A little less than 3 yards to go as the ball is the length of the football downfield from the 39. West Virginia 7 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. 28-27 Oklahoma State leads after trailing by 10 at halftime with 12:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. 2 wide receivers to the right side for West Virginia on a 3rd down from the OSU 39. Pitch to A.B. Brown, sweeping left, finds a crack and gets out of bounds and has the first down, it appears, at about the 35-yard line. He swept to the short side of the field. Wade Weller knocked him out of bounds, but not before he picked up the first down. And that's the 3rd in this drive. And they'll spot the ball at the 35-yard line at Oklahoma State territory, the 18th first down of the game for West Virginia.
It's amazing how they wait until they have the wind behind them, and you think they do a little passing, but that's when Brown's been the most effective. Maybe he likes that tailwind.
West Virginia is out over the ball before the Cowboys break their defensive hustle. They have to hustle to the defensive position from the 35 in OSU territory. Major Harris gets the exchange, gives the ball to Craig Taylor on a straight fullback handoff. Sean Mackey got him, but not before he gained the yard or 2 to the 33. Cowboys would take that, only a 2-yard pickup. 2nd down 8 for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 33-yard line.
Today's paid attendance in the stands, 43,240 here on a miserable day, so quite a credit to these football fans.
12 minutes to go in the game, 28-27, Oklahoma State on top by 1, but West Virginia driving. Calvin Phillips wide left, Harvey Smith wide right. A.B. Brown, the tailback, gets the handoff, veers to his left, and then is hit on a nice tackle by Sim Drain. Whistle blows, and it ends up no gain at the 33. A nice play by Oklahoma State's defense there, as it was Sean Mackey. Tom played a heck of a game on relief duty for David Bailey and now for Marcus Jones.
He really has, and Sean is a player of the future. I know George Wallstead's very, very high on Sean Mackey's ability. He just needs the playing time. Another big 3rd down play. Seemed like West Virginia had the ball forever here.
Sean Mackey was had 9 letters in high school at Marlowe. 8 of 14 on 3rd down conversions from the 33 in Cowboy territory. It's 3rd and 8. Oh, what a big play this is. 2 wide receivers to the right. Here's Major Harris on the option. He keeps the ball over left tackle. Oh, he almost got a big gain out of it, but that got down to the 26. He'll be a yard away from the first down. He went behind his left tackle, Jack Lynn, and left guard John Stroza. And Sim Drain made the tackle, but Major Harris got down, as we said, to the 26-yard line from the 33. So it is a 4th down play for the Mountaineers and a yard to go at the Oklahoma State 26 with the snow coming down rather heavily and 10:53 to go in the game.
No, it sounds like a broken record, but he has an uncanny knack of slipping a tackle in traffic and then getting the yardage needed.
Here we go, 4th down, a yard to go at the Oklahoma State 26. Double tight end, wishbone formation. Major Harris gives the ball to Taylor, cracks into the line. I think the Cowboys held. He dove into the line. Sim Drain made the tackle. And the Cowboys are signaling they held. Now, do the officials agree? That's the next question.
Ooh, a major collision right there as he tried to go up over the top.
West Virginia signaling they made the first down, so we'll have to wait till the official signals and gives us the indication. Of course, it depended on the spot. Now, there's the ball put shy of the 25.
That would help if they
the
keep it
official
there.
Referee looks it over. He signals Oklahoma State's football. Cowboys have held.
Woo!
Boy, that's a big player. Could be. We'll look back and see. And Oklahoma State leading 28-27 with the snow coming down, has the football at the 25.5-yard line. 10:37 to go in the game. From the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, the score Oklahoma State 28, West Virginia 27. You're listening to Cowboy Football.
And any equipment needed for home health care can be found at Tiger Medical Supply. And Tiger Drug offers a free blood pressure testing machine. Now that's a drugstore and medical supply on which you can depend. In fact, a lot of people in the area do. Tiger Drug and Medical Supply, 9th and Walnut, Stillwater.
Cartoons would like to take this time to say Merry Christmas and to congratulate the Oklahoma State Cowboys for a very fine season. At Cartoons, you'll find great prices on quality home and car stereo equipment. And starting this Saturday, you can save even more during Cartoons After Christmas sale. Compact discs have been marked down as low as $8.95, or you can save big on all Polk Audio car and home speakers, plus a whole lot more. At Cartoons, 1302 East 6th.
Bob Barry, Tom Dorado back with you. The official signaled a timeout, but they did not take the timeout. So we apologize for breaking away, but that's one that you can't credit to our crew. That was the official signaling a timeout. They didn't take it. And 2 plays have been run. Thurman Thomas carried the ball from the 25 to the 33, and then from the 33 up to the 38-yard line. Oklahoma State has first down, 10 yards to go from their own 38-yard line after 2 Thurman Thomas carries. Wide receivers left and right. It's a double tight end. Thurman, the only back behind Mike Gundy from the 38. To give to Thurman Thomas, over left tackle, running behind his tackle. He goes to the left. He's pushed out of bounds. Unfortunately, to stop the clock. Byron Woodard was 300 pounds of him in front of Thurman Thomas. He said, Byron, you go ahead. I'll follow you. And he gained on the play from the 38 to, let's see where they spot the ball. It appears to be about the 44-yard line. So a tidy little 6-yard pickup there behind big Byron Woodard.
Well, and big it was. It was tough to find Thurman by. He said, well, you just lead the way. I'll follow, and I'll be happy to pick up 6.
Ronnie Williams wide right. That's the double tight end. So Williams the only wide receiver. Brian Keith tight end right. J.R. Dillard tight end left. Thurman Thomas the tailback from the OSU 44. Second down, 4 yards to go. Long signal count. Gundy gives to Thurman. Veers back to his left. Cuts upfield, spins, but not much for him. Gets across the 45. Anything he got was just on his own. Found just a little tiny crack. Theron Ellis on the tackle. He's the defensive end, and it appears the play ended at the 47-yard line. So that's a gain of 3 to Thurman's credit. Brings up 3rd and a yard for Oklahoma State at their own 47. 9:38 to go in the game. Long time to go. Cowboys need to keep possession. Of course, the ideal situation would be to score, but they need to keep that football away from West Virginia. 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Double tight end. Thurman Thomas at tailback. 3rd down, a yard to go. Green wide to the right, the only wide receiver. Gundy to Thurman Thomas up the middle. He has the first down as he cracks all the way to the 50-yard line. Nice blocking by the OSU line. Can't say enough about Mike Wolf, Chris Stanley, John Bovair, and Garrett Limbrick. And the gain going from the 47 up to the 50-yard line. Cowboys have their 18th first down in the game, their second in this drive, and the ball is at the 50. Chris Herring on the tackle. Barry Sanders checks into the OSU lineup.
Thurman took a heck of a shot right there. That was 5 straight carries for Thurman. He's been getting ripped pretty good. He goes out for a breather. 30 carries, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns, and this is a pressure drive right here. Thurman running hard, and that offensive line just playing good, old-fashioned football, blowing them out.
And Mike Gundy doesn't know what play to call. If no one's play has not been sent in, now here comes a player in to bring in the play. See, where is that time on the play clock?
12.
Down to 12 seconds as the Cowboys break huddle. From the 50, 1st and 10. Barry Sanders now tailback. Double tight end. 1 wide receiver. Gundy gives the ball to Barry Sanders. Trying to check outside the right end. Gets only about 3 to the 47. As he could not get outside, he had to cut in between the right tackle and right guard and picked up 3 from the 50 down to the 47-yard line. Second down play for Oklahoma State, the West Virginia 47 and 7. Scott Summits on the tackle. Now J.R. Dillard leaves the lineup for Oklahoma State. Cowboys will go with 2 wide receivers. Ronnie Williams goes wide left. That's 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left and 1 to the right on a second down 7 from the West Virginia 47-yard line. Barry Sanders still at tailback. The give to Barry Sanders. He goes down the middle and loses a little footing, but then he gets down inside the 42. What time you could have seen on a dry day, he might have been gone, at least for a long gain. Had the old wheels spinning, but they just would not get a good traction, and he got at that from the 47 down to the 42. Brad Hunt makes the stop on an ankle tackle. Third down 2 for OSU.
You see the Cowboys took that 2 tight end situation out on that play before. It spread the field with the flankers that give Sanders a little bit more room in the middle to spread the defense laterally.
Third down play and 2 for Oklahoma State. 5 of 10 on third down conversions from the West Virginia 42-yard line. Gundy, a long single count, gives the ball to Barry Sanders down the middle. He'll have the first down with good effort, getting him down to the 37-yard line. Needed to get only 2 and got almost 5 on the play. Nice blocking again for the line. Good running by Barry Sanders. Scott Summits from Davidsville, Pennsylvania on the tackle. Now he leaves the lineup and will be replaced as the Cowboys have new life, 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
What an impressive series right here. The Cowboys stop on a 4th and 1. Now they're in a situation where Thurman's back in, and they're trying to run out the clock and do it impressively.
2 wide receivers to the left, Williams and Gerard Green. Hartley Dykes wide right from the West Virginia 37, just upfield from it. 1st and 10 with 7:19 to go in the game. Cowboys leading by a slim 1 point. Gundy to Thurman Thomas. He tries to go back to the middle, can't get anything. Tackle for maybe a half-yard loss. Let's put it back to 38. Second down 11 for Oklahoma State. That time good defense by David Grant and Chris Parker of West Virginia. The nose guard and the left tackle defensively. Nothing there for Squirman Thurman, and it brings up a second down and 11.
10th play,
at least a little more than 10.
10th play of this drive coming up. The Cowboys took over at 10:37, so they're coming up on the 4-minute mark, and they're doing exactly what they wanted to do.
Gerard Green to the left. Hartley Dykes to the right. The right is the short side of the field. I formation. Limerick the fullback. Thurman Thomas the tailback. Gundy looks up to pass. He'll keep the ball, puts the head down, gets very short yardage at the 36-yard line is where the tackle is. Hartley Dykes was sprinting down toward the middle, but Gundy looked up, didn't want to take the chance to fire a pass, and ran with it and picked up a couple of yards. Brad Hunt and Chris Parker on the tackle. Now the Cowboys have a problem here. They have 3rd down and 9 from the West Virginia 36. Got to come up with a big play here.
Well, again, the Cowboys are in a situation where they don't want to just throw it up for grabs, so it'll have to be a good pass before he lets it fly.
2 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right on the 3rd down. Dykes in motion across the formation. Gundy drops straight back to pass. Gundy looks. Everybody's covered. We can look down and see that Gundy scrambles out of the pocket. He looks. He throws a pass downfield. It's caught at the 20-yard line and down immediately. What a great play. Ad-lib by Mike Gundy. And the pass caught by Gerard Green, I believe, at the 20-yard line. He came back, and now a flag is back down. And I don't know whether it's roughing the passer or what. But the flag is dropped way back where Gundy threw the pass at the 48-yard line. And the Cowboys aren't celebrating, so I don't know whether the penalty is on OSU or on the West Virginia Mountaineers. It's on West Virginia, according to John Bovair, who's signaling us, and we'll see if the officials agree with that. Perhaps it was roughing the passer.
I agree it was. Yes, it was, as he was frustrated, that defender was trying to chase Gundy all over the place, and then they finally got him going and backpedaling. He's not even planted to make a throw, and he puts it right in the hands of Gerard Green, some 26 yards downfield, although the game was for 16. He did get it downfield right into Gerard Green's hands, and I'll tell you, the guy continues to amaze.
And let's see where they put the football. They'll mark it down at the 10-yard line, and helping him is Thurman Thomas. He helped him mark that off. So the play ended at the 20, and the penalty for 10 yards puts the ball at the West Virginia 10-yard line. 1st and goal to go. Or actually, the Cowboys can pick up a first down just inches short of the goal line, it appears from here, Tom.
Yes, that's correct.
I think they can anyway.
Inches short.
So it's first down, and let's call it goal to go right at the 10-yard line. Double tight end, 1 wide receiver to the right. Gundy to Thomas over the right side. He's to the 5. He's to the 4, and is pushed back hard. But, boy, what a gaping hole on the right side. Thomas hits the hole so quickly despite the snow on the field. A 6-yard pickup, and it brings up a second down and goal to go from the West Virginia 4 with 5 minutes, 40 seconds left.
We've seen Gundy throw some amazing passes this year, Bob, but under the situation, the pressure, the elements, the slick turf, that had to be one of the best, if not the best pressure throws he's made, I would think, all year long.
Gerard Green goes wide to the right or left side as we have the double tight end for Oklahoma State on a second down goal from the 4. Cowboys leading by only 1 point, 5:20 to go. Gundy may be changing the play. Gundy gives the ball to Thomas over the left tackle. Jumps in at the 2 to the 1. Touchdown, Cowboys! Thurman Thomas scores his 4th touchdown on a 4-yard run over the left side.
What a way to go out for Thurman Thomas. That's going to get him about 156 yards. 4 TDs. Cowboys have a little breathing room right here. He just slid it on through. And you got to go back to the 4th and 1, and then the poise of this team that we talked about at halftime to put a drive together that they needed to put together as the time was running out.
13 plays, 75 yards, and here's the extra point attempt at the end zone to our right, which is the south end zone, against the wind. Snap, ball down, kick in the air, looks good, and it is good. So we have timeout. 5:13 to go in the game from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. The score, the Oklahoma State Cowboys 35, West Virginia 27. This is the Cowboy Network. That's what they'll need to display here. Is Grantis Bell will be deep to receive along with Napoleon and Undra Johnson. 3 deep to receive, and this is a kickoff, an unusual one. We haven't had many against the wind today, Tom, and the West Virginia kicked off once against the wind. They squibbed it. Let's see what Kerry Blanchard of OSU does. Melvin Gillum will be holding it from left to right. Here we come. Here's the kickoff. Line drive kick. Skips into the hands of a West Virginia player at the 30, 35. He's to the 40 and then crumpled down at the 42-yard line. Robert Pickett caught the ball and ran it up to the 40 or 38-yard line. It's a good field position for West Virginia at their own 38, trailing Oklahoma State by the score of 35-27. West Virginia's been held so far to just 3 points in the second half after scoring 24, the most on any team this year against Oklahoma State in the first half.
Because the Cowboys have cut down on offensive mistakes now. Another defensive series.
I formation, wide receivers left and right. Handoff goes to Brown, the tailback, leaps up into a crowd at the 45, has about 3 yards. Or rather, more than 3. Well, I got to back up. I miscalled the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage was the 42, and he gets to the 45. I had said 38. Sorry about that, fans. But let's see. I'll blame it on the snow.
Yeah, we can't see. There's been a key right there, too, because Brown had 132 yards at half. He has 30 yards here in the second half.
West Virginia breaks the huddle from their own 45. Second down, 7 yards to go. At the 45, they're into the field. 4:37 left. Major Harris fakes the handoff. Major Harris keeps the ball around the right side. Leaps over a pile. Then it's belted down hard short of the 50-yard line. Good solid tackle to 50. That'll be a pickup of about 4 or 5. See where they spot the ball. He really got hit very, very hard. Just shy of the midfield stripe. But I believe that was one of the linebackers. And the ball is put just shy of the 50. Let's call it third down play. A little more than 2 yards to go.
Another big third down. Cowboys have been pretty effective here in the second half of stopping that third down play.
Tim Johnson is the nose guard for Oklahoma State. Third down play, wishbone formation. Major Harris keeps the ball. Is hit as he gets about a yard to the 49. It's very close. I'll just put it that way. Very close to the first down. They needed to get to the 48, tackled at the 49 or just downfield from it. So it'll be a 4th down play and less than a yard to go. It's short, I believe, but West Virginia, Tom, has to go for it. You're trailing 35-27 with 3:50 left in the game and the snow coming down, and there's just no reason to punt. Now they'll take a timeout to talk it over. And so not a blizzard by any means, but definitely has picked up in intensity. Now we're set to go. 4th down play, less than a yard to go for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 49-yard line. Wishbone formation for West Virginia. Quarterback Major Harris gets the exchange, keeps the ball, goes to his left, has the first down, 45, 40, then ridden down by Jerry Deckard, Melvin Gillum inside the 35. Boy, Major Harris took off and got some good blocking around left end, got all the way from the 49 down to about the 33-yard line. So a long gain. That picks up the 19th first down of the game for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 33. That's a 16-yard pickup by Harris. That's one of his longest gains of the year. West Virginia breaks the huddle with 3:33 to go in the game. Oklahoma State on top by 12. Ball at the Oklahoma State 33, I formation. Harvey Smith in motion from left to right. Quarterback Harris gives the ball off to Brown down the middle. He's tripped up by Sim Drain and comes to rest at the 30-yard line after a 3-yard pickup. Second down play and 7 yards to go for West Virginia. Clock running, and the Oklahoma State fans keep eyeing it. As far as timeouts are concerned, West Virginia has 2 timeouts left. Oklahoma State has all 3. Of course, that's inconsequential at this moment. Second down play and 7 yards to go for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 30. I formation. In motion goes Calvin Phillips from left to right. Major Harris pitches the ball back to Anthony Brown over left tackle, hit from behind by Wade Weller, and then down after a pickup across the 30 to maybe the 27-yard line. It'll be short of the first down by 2 or 3 yards. And since there's snow on the field and it ended into the West Virginia bench, we're going to have to wait a second, see where they spot that ball. But the clock is running. They'll put it at the 27-yard line. So that was a pickup of 3. Bailey was in on the tackle for Oklahoma State. In addition to the others we mentioned, it is now 3rd down 4, let's call it, for West Virginia at the Oklahoma State 27. 2 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the game. Brandis Bell wide right. Harvey Smith wide left. A.B. Brown the tailback. There's a draw play to Brown down the middle. He's hit the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Appears to have the first down or very close to it. Just depends on where they spot the ball. In the area of the Oklahoma State 23, they've stopped the clock with 2:11 to go. Cumby and Mackey on the tackle for Oklahoma State. They'll bring the chain in from the far side. Remember, a reminder to you that Cowboy football is being brought to you by Texaco, super unleaded gasoline with Petrox detergent to help keep your car's power flowing. Another reminder, as far as listening reminder is concerned, as Tom Dorado is on his way to the Cowboy locker room, stay tuned after our broadcast for interview with Pat Jones and the Cowboy players on this snowy Sun Bowl afternoon. Here's the chain stretch to measure for first down or not, and it is short of the first down. That brings up another 4th down situation. But this is what Oklahoma State wants to do, make them use up some time on the clock, them being West Virginia. 2:11 to go. Ball is at the Oklahoma State 23.5, 4th down play, and inches for West Virginia. West Virginia breaks the huddle and go to the wishbone formation. They don't actually run the wishbone. They run from that formation. That's the way their coach described it. Double tight end on a 4th down and inches. Major Harris gets the exchange, will keep the ball, cuts in over right tackle, breaks free of one tackler, gets across the 15. That's been one of their best plays. Gets down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And it's a first down number 20 in the game for West Virginia. The ball is at the 14-yard line. I think it's the 13 as we relook at that. First down, 10 yards to go for the West Virginia Mountaineers with 1:55 to go. At the 13-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. I formation. A.B. Brown at tailback. There's a handoff to Craig Taylor, the fullback. Finds a hole down the middle across the 10 down to the 6-yard line. With time running, 1:39 to go. A gain from the 13 down to the 6. Smith and Cumby on the tackle at the 6-yard line. Second down play and 3 for West Virginia. Cowboys leading 35-27. Clock running with 1:26 to go. West Virginia breaks the huddle from the 6-yard line. 3 yards for the first down, 6 yards for the touchdown. 2 wide receivers to the left, Calvin Phillips and Harvey Smith. Major Harris gives the ball off to the fullback. Taylor into the end zone for the touchdown with 1:13 to go. So West Virginia has traveled on this after the short kickoff from their own 42, 58 yards for the touchdown. They went to a 4th down twice, and it's 10 plays, 58 yards, and a touchdown. But that draws them to 35-33. And of course, you would think the single extra point might. They'll take a timeout to talk it over. Let's take it here. 1:13 to go in the ball game from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. The score: Oklahoma State 35, West Virginia 33. You're listening to Cowboy football. Ball, of course, placed 3 yards away from the goal line. West Virginia, with Major Harris, such a slippery individual, has not had a great deal of success passing. Normally on a 2-point conversion, it's some sort of an option where you have the option to run or pass. That could be the situation here. All right, we have Calvin Phillips wide to the right along with Brandis Bell. I formation. Brown at tailback. Now they shift. One running back behind quarterback. Major Harris gets the exchange, rolls right, looks, still looking. Now he goes back to his left. He's in trouble, retreats all the way back to the 15-yard line. Throws a pass, caught at the 1-yard line. Tackle short of the goal line. What an exciting play as Sean Mackey made the tackle short of the goal line. The 2-point conversion fails as the pass was thrown and caught by tight end Keith Wynn, I believe. But it looked for just an instant like he would get into the end zone. Of course, the bad news from Oklahoma State's standpoint, if there is any on that play, was that no time runs on the clock on a 2-point conversion, so we still have 1:13 to go. But West Virginia now must kick to Oklahoma State. You would expect an onside kick, and boy, would that be treacherous today because of the condition of the field. But the 2-point conversion fails, and the Cowboys lead by 2 with 1:13 to go. Let's go down to Tom Dorado for his comments. Tom?
Well, Bob, that was the play, at least for where we could see. I think Major Harris really wanted to fake the option and then step back and run the draw. But the Cowboys, after that last timeout, made an adjustment where they moved one man inside and clogged that up. And Sean Mackey, as you mentioned, has had a tremendous game. Mackey was right there for the receiver. He was the trailer. That was his man. That was the only other outlet that Harris had after forces a scramble, and the Cowboys did it almost in textbook fashion and kept them out of the end zone.
Tom Dorado is now down on the sideline. We appreciate those comments. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Cowboy Football.
ASPI AM and FM, Stillwater.
Now let's see if it pays off. Here we go. The signal for the kickoff. Charlie Bauman will squib it, no doubt, on the onside kick. He lines it on the ground, and it's jumped on, and the Cowboys say they have it at the West Virginia 48. Do the officials agree? Thurman Thomas is celebrating. Yes, it's Oklahoma State's football. As the onside kick really didn't take any crazy bounces, as you might suspect it would. Just skimmed along the ground. Hartley Dykes fell on it. Big play Dykes, and he dropped the ball earlier on the 5-yard line in the second quarter. That seemed to be a key at the time. He redeems himself there. Congratulated by his teammates, and the Cowboys take over at the West Virginia 48-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. So the Cowboys now with 1:11 left need to kill the clock. They will be able to down it, and then West Virginia can stop it only once. Mike Gundy gets it, just touches the knee down. And the clock runs. And West Virginia has yet to stop it. As we said, they have only one timeout left. So the Cowboys will let it run down. I tell you, the West Virginia players already congratulating Oklahoma State. Orlando congratulating some of the Cowboys as he came back to his side of the line of scrimmage. 48, now 47 seconds left in the game. West Virginia may not choose to use that final timeout. Really, it's fruitless. Cowboys up to the line of scrimmage. Gundy will touch the ball down. 36, now 35 seconds to go in the game. The official will set the ball in play with 28 seconds to go. So since you have 25 seconds to get the play off, there'll still be some time left. But the Cowboys are going to be, this team apparently, with 17 seconds to go, will be only the second Oklahoma State football team in the history of the school to win as many as 10 games in a season. And Pat Jones has been associated with both of those. Touches down the knee, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Oklahoma State wins.